Conversations about Reyna, it's often spoken of as being very feast or famine. So if Kesney can get going early, yeah, there's the potential to have some momentum, but not only just when it comes to the Reyna conversation, but for KRU in general. If they start off slow, Mimi said it, I mean, it's washed.
Yeah, we saw what happened last time they started off slow. So they're definitely going to want to avoid that here, but this is a fast pace already from the side of Leviathan. A convincing A hit is about to come through in the mix once this Viper wall comes down.
Heat already got tagged, spam through the walls. Aspas is taking a little bit of damage in exchange, but Mazzino is on the prowl. Look at the pathing that he takes. Goes around 410, manages to get around the site, and then strike. That's a really nice setup.
Yeah, and from the frenzy buy as well. Shai's back sight though. He gets 3 to the round. Salvation. It's down to a 1v1 now. Melzer on a quick flank here. Aspas, he should be aware of this though, because he just cleared out all of CT.
He's got a ghost, no armor. Aspas is so weak, and Melzer cleans it up. KRU get the pistol.
Wow, and Shai, he's bringing that all-star performance he had yesterday into today. So already a strong start, and that's what we were saying KRU needed to do. Who other than Shai, who, I mean, he had a phenomenal series yesterday to bring them to champs.
It's often one of the quietest members on the squad, but often also having some of the most impact, especially when KRU seems like they're at their best. We talk so much about Kesney, we talk so much about Heat, and yeah, for good reason. But man, the impact and the value that Shai brings KRU is really impressive.
Yeah, it's always been, when is that value going to come to fruition?
True.
When is he actually going to be able to show that? And he did it at just the right moment. Nice little cheeky default lineup dart there from Calm. I haven't seen that one yet. A new lineup for all the Silva mains out there to steal. Gets you full control of that E-long area. And now a freeze to the round, it seems like. Ooh, a little bit of jiggles from Mazzino. Oh my gosh, Aspas takes out Kesney in the head-to-head. Sheriff versus a Bulldog.
And honestly, that was a fight that went the way of Aspas almost every time when we saw these two teams clash last. So we'll keep a close eye on that and see who's on top in that duel. You see LEV starting to take back yellow. They've got harbor walls up. They've got Viper walls that can go up as soon as those go down. They've got a lot of layers to this. And then remember, this is an eco for them. They only have sheriffs.
Yeah, and I like the slow approach as well. And they're only able to do that because of the, you know, rechargeable walls that you were speaking of. They're able to layer their utility, get onto the actual site, make it very deadly with these classics up close and personal.
Yeah, I really like how they did that. They realized that the harbor wall was going to be going down soon. They take a step back, they throw a freeze on the round, wait for the Viper utility to go up, and then commit. Aspas already getting one is Shai, who was the hero in the previous round, is looking to do a bit of the same.
And these positions right now are very good for Leviathan. Crossfires around the whole site, Doug.
You definitely don't want to start this series by getting eco'd in the second round, but it certainly seems like that's the case. Heat's left alone in a 1v4. He has a Guardian, and 3 members are so weak. But can he pull it off? No. That's a rough start for KRU.
And honestly, a near flawless round, a near flawless thrifty round, eco round from the side of Leviathan. Aspas, he did so much work into that round, getting the first blood, and then going top site, getting a kill onto the kitchen. Oh, look at these shots, amazing.
Little double tap, just like that. And then the pen.
Insane, and then yeah, once you have all that sight, it's just too hard to retake at that moment. All the close boxes, now the classic becomes so deadly. What an insane round from Aspas, Doug. That was ridiculous.
And you take a look at the investment from Leviathan off of that, one person bought. Other than that, they've been able to carry over the spoils of war from the previous round into the next.
Yeah, and also have a harbor all into this A hit as well, if they want to use it. That's a slow A default and a freeze to the round. This is something that Leviathan seemed to want to do in this half. Do an A default, freeze the round, wait for some type of aggression from, you know, the Reyna.
I suggest
Any type of likes.
And he's been known to do it. They've invested the Reckoning. Again, harbor wall goes up. And LEV push forward. Shai's been spotted. The spam through from MTA is nice. And so Aspas is now down. A weapon has been upgraded. Now 2 Guardians on the side of the defense as the spike is still trying to work its way through out onto the side and get planted. On the swing, Kesney falls. MTA continuing to cause problems. He was good yesterday, but Tex with 4. That'll do it.
Tex, he flanks around the back, cleans it up. No one was really looking at him in that moment. At least the last 2 players weren't. So a good pinch right there, but the spacing initially was kind of rough. Look, Aspas is alone here on an island. No one's running through to help him out. Good work for Leviathan to slow the round down after they get picked 4v5 and then take engagements together. But it's something they're going to need to tighten up in these future rounds, especially on a gun round, because if you drop 4v5 like that, how many more chances are KRU going to give you?
Yeah, it's a really good point. We have seen that approach twice, though, right? We saw it in the previous round. They froze, then they hit when they got what they wanted. They did the same thing in round 3. And so now in a round 4, with ears perked, we'll see if that comes up again. An outlaw in the hands of Aspas.
Yeah, understanding that the economy for KRU is kind of in shambles. A lot of players might be on that light armor. You can eliminate a player instantly with this gun if you get a body shot onto that light armor. And so far, it's been back-to-back A, B defaults. You know, we saw in the eco round, it was a B default, similar wall, and then a freeze. This time, proactivity from the side of KRU. They don't want any of this space to be gathered.
That's really nice timing on the Dizzy from Heat.
Oh, but that's a really nice timing of a headshot on an MTA. And now that's a free A site, but I don't think Leviathan know that.
No, they're so concerned about it. They're going to try to rotate back, and they've cut off the contain. Shy is now dead. Mid is wide open. Killjoy utility is rendered useless. And now LEV have the entire map to their own.
Right there.
Yeah, and you just want to group up now. It's a 5v3 no matter where you go.
Right.
Group up, make sure your trading is on point. You can still use rechargeable utility if it comes back up, like that Sova dart. Speak of the devil. And yeah, they're going to know that the site is free, and this might just be a save from the side of KRU.
You don't really have a choice. I mean, you look at their economy, it's rough. Light armor on 3 members. You got eco'd already. And so really what you're trying to do here if you're KRU is avoid 2 days ago as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
You can't have any hint of that coming back into your minds, coming back into the conversation, because that snowball gets really big very quickly.
And I'm wondering then, just off of what you just said, are we going to see a timeout already? Is it maybe time to already hit that that panic button? I don't want to call it a panic button yet, but is it time to maybe hit that
The concern
pause
button,
Yeah,
maybe?
the concern button.
Yeah.
Because, you know, last time around, it was around that 4-round mark that they used it, and honestly, it was a little too late.
It looks like LEV are starting to move around the map and try to find any stragglers that are trying to keep weapons into the next. And other than King, it seems like they might be able to survive with this. Posted up in garage. Seems like they'll go through undetected, so the weapons, barring again, King dropping one at just the right time in the waning moments of the round. One will fall, so they will carry 2 into the next, but LEV have a really big advantage.
Yeah, it's all that conditioning they showed previously when they showed that B default, and that's
Infinitely more risky. You know, we were having a conversation at the beginning of the map about how Kesnit needs to start off on strong footing, given that he's playing the Reyna. A quick check-in, and it hasn't been the hot start that he was looking for, or that KRU was looking for. But he does have a rifle in hand. Shy is gone already.
Yeah, that's quick too. Usually when you have 2 rifles invested into a round like this, you kind of want them to take the forefront of the action. Have them get in the mix because it just gives you more of a chance. You know, it's more likely for those rifles to get a pick than a sheriff, but you know, more aggression from the side of KRU, and they're just getting punished across the board here. This should be a free kill as well onto Heat. So many angles he has to look at if he actually wants to peek out into spawn. Oh man, Leviathan are so ready for this.
They've got the turret, they've got the alarm bot mid, they've got a couple of players back towards spawn watching it. They just have the whole map so well considered.
It looks so easy from the side of Leviathan right now on holds. Tex, he's looking to get a 3rd into the round, build up towards that lockdown, and he will get it. 3 for Tex into that round, and it was easy breezy pick'ems. I mean, after that pick in mid on Shy, it's likely that there's going to be more aggression somewhere else on the map, especially when you're down 4v5 on the defensive side. And it was flawless.
He's currently sitting at 8-2 right now. It's another hot start for this guy.
Yeah, he's unbelievable in these moments. His killjoy on this map has been phenomenal all year long. Obviously, Aspas is ridiculous as well.
Aspas who, man? It's been all Tex these last couple of times. We'll see how it continues to play out. Again, KRU in a desperate need to start to at least try to get a 5v4 numbers advantage, but Aspas continues to cause problems. Shy's in a really good spot here. Can he get out? No. Aspas with 3 on the round with help over the top, too. He was not able to get out, not able to survive. Nice movement there from Aspas, too. Getting high ground, avoiding the damage on the shock dart, which surely would have been lethal.
Guy's sitting at 30 HP. He needs to give that spike to somebody else. Not sure what's really going on here from the side of Leviathan. Trying to feel out this B site, perhaps.
Which I think is again, one of the things they do so well. You know, you and I have talked about this a fair amount, not just today, but in every other time that we've seen them play. They love to play the map. They love to slow things down. They love to force errors out of the opponents and then really capitalize on those and punish them wherever they find weakness. And we've seen it a couple of times today already, and this is another example of that. You're up big on numbers right now. It's a 4v2. You've got guns, you've got ults, you've got everything. The temptation to just brute force your way in is really high, but they're so disciplined in their approach, even in positions like this.
And wisely so, because if you give a team like KRU the time of day, they're going to execute right back on you. So you want to play a disciplined game against a team like this. That's how you take them out. When it gets in this chaotic, scrappy moments, KRU seem to thrive in those.
Yeah.
Their mechanical talent is honestly known around the world. And they just seem to be such clutch players. I mean, look at what they did yesterday to 100 Thieves.
MTA getting a little bit forward. Oh, 1-for-1 there, but again, in a 4v2, those numbers just don't add up. You'll lose that every single time.
Yeah, good on Leviathan to trade out numbers there. Use the advantage that they got early from Osbos getting 3 on that A main default. Honestly, nobody was really ready for him in that moment. Kesnet got instantly deleted.
It was through a wall too, if I remember correctly.
No, the first one was just straight up boom.
Oh, yeah.
No chance in hell for Kesnet to get that kill. He was trying to move out of there, trying to get out of dodge, but Osbos was too quick. Frustration.
Yeah, building already, you're right. Face of MTA, who again was a massive highlight yesterday.
Oh my gosh, the 3 rounds that he got on that ascent. I mean, it would be 100 Thieves here if it weren't for him.
Yeah.
And he struggled, honestly, getting into the mix of things, but now they can say that they're a top 3 team right now. It's confirmed on paper. Ooh, King, another punish on the walk-up. Leviathan, they're so dialed in right now on these approaches when they're just holding these weird off angles. Sometimes it can be hard to hit those shots. The bullets just can't quite connect, but today they're connecting for sure.
Much like they were a couple of days ago. It seems Shy with the Guardian in hand. The only, well, Heat has a rifle too, but they're both sitting over towards A. It's just Melster by himself here with the Sheriff. I mean, he's been droned around on one side, he's been walled up on the other. They know exactly where he is. He's just a prey that's waiting to be hunted down, and that's exactly what happens.
And there's even a follow-up Harbor ultimate too, if there's anyone else on the site trying to help him out.
Yeah.
So no turns being unchecked right now from the side of Leviathan. Good fundamentals.
Is this another save? It has to be a save, surely, right?
I don't know, the money's looking kind of rough right now. I think these Guardians just want to get any type of kills. That Sheriff kill from MTA is good. Because they have a full buy in the next round. They got rifles on the board.
Player standing.
Kesnet at 350, Shy at 400. Heat not able to find a second kill. Meanwhile, you take a look at the other side of the stage, and they've got money, I mean, for days. They're in such a comfortable position here. And again, I want to point out that just a couple days ago, we saw them play on Icebox, and it was on different starts, right? It was KRU who was starting off on the attack, and they were running into the brick wall of Leviathan on defense. Now the sides have swapped, but it really feels like a lot of the same game.
Yeah, I feel like KRU are pushing it a little too much right now. They're trying to make something out of nothing. And I feel like maybe just see if you can do a sight hold against Leviathan so far, because
we were wearing different things. I think it's the same match. I think it's the same day.
Yeah, it definitely looks the same. And the comps might not be the same, but the way that they're playing them is definitely resembling it. And right now, there is a lot of ultimates online from the side of KRU, so this could be a little bit of a saving grace in the mix of this half. And if they could bring this one back to even just a 7-5 in favor of LEV, that will be a win, which is kind of rough on a map like this, but still, it's something to work with, right? Better than what happened last time around. What, it was a 11-1 or something like that half, going into a 13-2. Yeah, it was absolutely brutal. This might be a punish on a Melzer here if he's not too careful. I wonder if Osbos will get this pick. He does have that attack operator, and he knows he's jump peeking this angle. There it is! What a heads-up play from LEV. I mean, if you're going to jump spot that much, okay, it buys time for Osbos to bring it on over. Everyone else is holding for a push.
Placing swarm grenade.
A beautiful pick, and he's been so quick with that operator. I feel like it's something that he kind of went away from for a little bit. In NA specifically, but now that he's bringing that operator back out, he looks super confident on that. Tex knows there's a turn in mid. He's gonna find a timing if
30 seconds left.
Shy comes down. Oh my gosh, there's the timing. He snuck on right past everybody here.
He's got to hear all of that too. Oh, settle. Only able to find one. I thought there was going to be more to be feasted upon. And the truth is there was, but he just kind of makes a mess of it in kitchen. Lev managed to get the pit down. Shy and MTA, the only two that remain. They've got an ult to play around, but I don't know that they really have any comfort to be able to invest into it. Meanwhile, it's Calm, who's really just buying time at this point.
Oh, and he gets a tag on top of it. Yeah, this round is over. Shy gets picked off. Lev finding that classic, you know, late flank, this time using the Vault on it.
Here.
So I guess from the side of KRU, it is good on them that they baited that Sova ult out. It's something that they don't have to worry about in the future rounds, but still, it's 7-1 right now. And yes, the narrative from last time these two teams clashed is in full effect once again, Doug. You're 100% right. It feels the exact same. KRU are kind of getting just dipped right now on so many levels.
I mean, in every single facet of the game. I think they're losing the micro, they're losing the macro. They aren't really able to get Kesnet online. He's 1-7 right now, and it's just been tough sledding. The truth of the matter is the timeline tells the story, and it does so in a very accurate manner. This has been all Lev.
God, the pistol round was so great from KRU too. It's just, you can't convert that second round. You make it so harder on yourself, and now you just having to do crazy pushes. You're getting punished back and forth. I mean, if you peek this, surely you drop. Yeah, it's just, it's too easy right now. Oh!
Down.
Oh, not like this, bro. Not like this. He just geared all over him. It's unbelievable. It's a slaughter.
That was absolutely alpha from Aspas. Wow. That shorty can be so deadly. Sometimes you just feel it in those moments when you're playing Jet. This guy has whiffed way too many shots on me. I might as well just dash onto him. If he hits it out, whatever. We're up 7-1.
Variable removed.
Shy continues to be crispy.
Yeah.
He's hit a couple of really nice shots today.
So far, it's just been just like the last time around, where the only rounds that KRU can actually accumulate are off of heroics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Shy in that pistol round. He's back sight. Probably shouldn't get 3 in that spot, but he does.
Nope.
You know?
Placing alarm bot.
And that's what it was the last time around. I remember it was Melzer who got a 4K to win a round. I think Kesnet got a 3K to win a round on Icebox, and that was all they got.
Yeah, that was their only two.
Individual heroics. So we need to see some more of that team play, the team play that we saw out of them in that 100 Thieves win, to try to get a couple more rounds into this. And that was a lot of swinging together, not getting picked off first like that.
Yeah, Shy snappy today.
Yeah, he was awesome yesterday as well. I think he had 59 kills, plus 12 in the series against 100 Thieves.
Remember, your
Sitting at the
weapon
top
is
for his
only a
team,
tool.
and it was actually Kesnet who was at the bottom in that series. So that was an impressive win for me just for that reason. But I mean, Kesnet's gonna have to be online if you want to beat a team like Leviathan, who are doing things like this just in your face.
And that right there is why you play high sense, because if you're playing against Aspas, who's going to do that to you, you fall behind, you're dead. You're just dead. Kesnet shaking his head with no real answers to be found.
That's tough. He's tried to peek in, he's tried to take these engagements, but without a right and proper setup, I mean, you could get insta. That's the worrisome part about having to peek into a player, right? There's always the chance that they can insta you like that.
Well, and I think it's also, too, a testament to how thoroughly sound Leviathan are as a team.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there are so many other teams that we've seen crumble at Kesnet trying to do that exact same thing, right? He's just going to alpha swing you, and he's probably going to get the kill, but Lev do such a good job of maintaining these protocols at the beginning of the round that deny that level of aggression, and they deny that success.
And it just happened here again, even with utility this time from KRU.
Yeah.
Leviathan were ready.
Meltzer's now dead. The defensive side doesn't have any smokes to play around. Shy looking to make a play, creeping all the way down tube. Still just waiting on the other side. getting any info that he can. Turret cleared. But again, Lev with a heavy lean towards B, and there's not a lot here as far as defenses go. A couple of rounds ago, it was Melser. This time it was Heat. The outcome's the same.
Doug, that was such an insane kill from Aspas. We got to see that over in the feed. He kind of like puts his head down and then jumps onto that box so he can't see him right away. And then he instas him. Kesnet can't quite connect the shots onto Aspas. He's not warmed up whatsoever into this match so far. And MTA, he's just on an island. He has to save. It's just been an absolute stop, Doug.
I mean, they just, yeah, this has become a save simulator for KRU, unfortunately.
You know what, though? It is a best of 5. They can afford to throw a map away and build momentum.
They're just saving for the next map.
Yes.
They're like investing in their 401k.
Yes.
So they can cash out on it. Map 3, map 4.
That's exactly what they're doing. And MTA, I know he's saving this weapon, but he needs to give it to Kesnet, and just Kesnet, you need to make something work. You got to get warmed up into this.
Yeah.
Oh, he might not save that rifle. Tex will take him out because of the dart from Com.
Well, I think part of the problem, though, Trey, is that I think Kesnet has tried doing that. I think they have tried to put him in a position to go and get kills and go and, you know, kind of force something and rely on mechanical prowess to make something happen. But he hasn't been able to find success there either.
Yeah, and this was actually that's that replay I was talking about.
That's gross.
As soon as he goes up on the box, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think what it is, though, it's the timing in which they're trying to do these plays to set him up.
Sure.
I feel like it needs to be more of like a flood when the actual sight is coming out.
You think it's too telegraphed?
Yeah, it's too telegraphed right now. Like even in that fight with utility on B, Aspas was the only one ahead of everybody else, and he just has a dash already procced and he's able to get out, right? So they were actually, Leviathan were baiting that aggression from the side of KRU. I think it needs to be when the sight hit comes out. I think once the sight hit comes out and LEV are investing their utility and it's, okay, they're definitely hitting this site, now we use our utility back, and amongst that chaos that's happening on either A or B site, that's where Kesnet will find kills in the mix. But look, it's just random timings they're going for this re-aggressions. But this might be good for them, actually, because you have a delay now on the side of A site with Shy playing here. This might be the first 5v5 retake we get.
They've managed to avoid death so far. And you're right, we might be due for a 5v5. Melser has his ult, Heat has the second dance of his. Meanwhile, Tex has a lot to play around. If he can get into a post-plant position here, they're going to have a lot of room that they can buy and a lot of time they can bleed off this clock. A tap is just a threat. KRU realize they have to vacate the space. And now they're going to attempt to refill on it, but again, the spike has been ticking this entire time. What can KRU do to force their way back into this? Kesnet is weak, Shy's already dead. Tried getting a little bit of high ground as King snaps onto the second. Can he find a third? Yes, he can. The guy just continues to deliver. Borderline flawless. LEV get to 10.
And the beginning of the round was great for KRU. Honestly, yeah, they re-cleared all that B space. They actually ended up being 5v4 up into that retake after getting a pick, but it's just too much right now. And I think we can see a little breakdown of communication, because even when that retake wall is falling there, no one's aware and holding this little angle. And this is a very obvious spot that defenders of the post plant like to play in.
I mean, especially when you know you're being flooded down in a 5v5 like that. Like, you know that that's where the hit's going to be coming in from, and you know how things are going to play out. It's just been really tough sledding for KRU this entire time, man. And I don't know where I see a bit of a difference. You've got these setup protocols at the beginning of the round just like this. Com hits a nice dart. Heat's the one who gets the kill. That 1-2 punch is sending him back into the corner.
This is so brutal. Now it's just going to be easy pick'ems for Aspas. This is where he reigns supreme, and yeah, he's alone right now, but I imagine he's going to kill everybody in the server. Well, look,
Mazzino, suppressive fire over his shoulder.
Yeah.
They continue to roll out, and they continue to stomp on Icebox.
So insane. What an attacking half right now. One of the most dominant we've seen. Last time around, the 13-2 map of Icebox for Leviathan against KRU was the most dominant map win of all stage 2, I believe, Doug?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Or all year, maybe?
Yeah, I said something like that.
Sort.
I said something like that on the desk the next day, and I was corrected. Space said I was wrong, and then I was embarrassed, and Twitter made fun of me, and you know, all that stuff. So I'm trying to avoid that one, but yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I mean, this feels like it could be the most dominant one. It's 11-1. Have we had a 13-0? Yeah, we had one, right? I don't know who it was, but either way,
I think Bootsy was on the receiving end of it, no?
it's up there in the top 5. What a flick.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And you're right. The supporting cast this time around for Leviathan, making sure Aspas isn't alone. It's impressive how this team is able to bounce back after the way that they lost to G2, where it kind of felt like they just got outclassed.
We'll see if the second half tells a different story. A really good point on how KRU should be able to make some of these adjustments around LEV and how they like to play, particularly Calm, but I think that's probably the smallest of the things they have to consider right now.
Yeah, it just feels like it's too little too late. And if you recall last time around, Tex was an absolute destroyer on this A site, getting so many first bloods onto Kesnet, onto everybody on the side of KRU. So let's see if KRU will able to be good and ready to break through the defensive wall that Leviathan are able to put up.
I mean, there are a lot of bricks to this wall right now, bro. They've got 4 people here. They have the Harbor wall. They have the Viper wall that cycles. And they haven't done anything to clear back sight.
No one's looking at Calm whatsoever. Calm takes a shock dart in the middle of 4 players facing him. And that's his demise into that. That's 4 kills for the side of KRU on this A execute.
Aspas is going to rotate over with the Sheriff with a couple of weak targets on the other side, too. But he's at such a distance. The one benefit is the spike did just go down, so he's got some time to try to navigate this to his benefit, to his advantage. But he's got so many corners he has to clear. I mean, every single thing has to be so well considered, and now with position given away, he's trying to chip and prod at whatever he can. But this seems like another pistol the way of KRU. Kesnet getting a couple kills. KRU get their second. You imagine, barring another anti-eco, that they should be able to get to 3.
Yeah, that was a smothering A execute from the side of KRU. The timing on it was really good, and the way that they were taking the engagements, it was together. That's the key difference in this side than the last side they played. The defensive side, there was too many isolated 1v1s that were happening across the board. Now, pack mentality, go in together, smother the A site players that like to play back site after that Harbor wall is up, and profit.
It doesn't really seem like LEV are concerned about investing very much here. Just one Sheriff. Woo. And I believe that was all they needed the last time. But this is a much more formidable buy from the attack side. This is much stronger from KRU. 2 Vandals, 2 Guardians, and a Bulldog. They're fully leaning into this, as they should.
Yeah, you have to, and you have to win this round flawlessly as well, so you can have those guns into the bonus. Give yourself a big buffer of your own. Give yourself the best chance you can to win that bonus, but it all starts with this round. We saw them get eco'd last time around. A lot of players getting chipped low.
Yeah, but no kills found quite yet. King finally gets on the board in this round, but there's not much else that's going their way. Shy, an unfortunate casualty in a situation like that, feeling himself. Is all he could really do. He gets 3 on the round. KRU get their 3rd. And they've, well, I was going to say they got what they were looking for. And yes, it was in the round coming through, but they lost 2 rifles with that.
They did, but they do end up keeping the 2 Vandals, which is probably the most important part about it. And Kesnet, he can actually afford to buy another one for one of his teammates. I feel like right now for KRU, you kind of just have to go for it. You have to try to win this next round. You fully invest into it, you win. If you lose this round, Leviathan are sitting at match point for how many more rounds? It's like
too many.
Yeah, you don't have a chance.
Yeah, we'll let Sliggy do the math.
Go for the win. Go for the win. But Shy opts to not buy for MTA, so it's a little bit of an investment into this. I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
3-11 on Icebox. Shy feeling some of the pressure already. Aspas and Tex have denied so much of that space, and Shy's the first to fall.
And this is what happened last time around. They kind of bullied Shy, who was alone at A for a while in that A default. They kind of just ran him down. If you recall, there was 4 players that did it previously. This time, all it took was Tex and Aspas, the destroyers.
It feels like what they were doing in the first half. They were bullying Melser behind back yellow. This time they were bullying Shy A main. Heat's down.
Can this spike be defused? Sorry, Doug. Can this spike be defused from behind the wall? Is this a...
I don't know.
Is this a bad plan? I have a feeling it might be able to.
Let's see. That angle is tricky. And if Calm's kind of holding over the top, you're right, it might be disaster, or it might not matter. We might not even find out.
Yeah, you don't even need to.
Melser gets his 2 parting kills on the way up, and Leviathan gets him at point.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the spike plant spot or not, Leviathan, we know that they're insane on the retakes, and they made this one look easy as well. Getting that first blood onto Shy at A makes it so, you know, Crew kind of have to speed up. But I feel like it's just the same reactions from the last time these teams met and faced off. I feel like I want to see something more from Crew. I want to see them actually double back and challenge that A space again, slow the round down, not just do, you know, the common reaction of speeding up into B. Because Leviathan are willing to play for that. We saw that last time around. So right now, Crew maybe just trying to play their own game plan, not really thinking about what LEV are doing.
We see some of their financial decisions in the previous round having impact on this one. We got 3 Vandals, 2 Guardians.
This bully on A main again. Shy sitting all the way back in spawn this time, but
Yeah. And the thing is, they aren't even really investing very much to bully him off the angle. It was just a drone.
there's no way. He's just going for it. Oh my.
He spots him, what?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, a little graphic where we see the zoomed in crosshair on the replay.
Yeah.
That's a good one for that one. I imagine that'll come through here in a moment.
Just sees a pixel at the top of the head. But again, look, they go back and kind of half challenge Ospas, but Ospas is still holding this ground, so it's just Leviathan giving all sight again, and they're just gonna get free picks left and right once more.
Dude, Tex just like plays his space. He just played his time, waited for the wall to go down, and he was there to greet. They've invested the harbor wall on the other side to section off the site and to section off the spike. Calm on a tap and the cove is up. He can stick this if they don't respect it. It's already come through, but he's gonna hold it the entire way. There's nothing to stop it. There was nothing to stop Leviathan. It was a stop 2 days ago.
Fundamentals that we didn't see on that icebox map, and maybe get a map, like their map pick win, right? So they're gonna want that going into this best of 5 if they want any resemblance of coming back. And it looks like Hesnet's alone in garage. But there is a follow-up trade because King overheated peeking outside of the garage. So with the smokes being down, there's a good opportunity here for Crew to take B site.
The fact that they were able to equalize means that we still have a shot at this. Crew have a fighting chance in this round. Melcher's going to commit to getting the spike down. What kind of retake utility did LEV have? Mazzino's got a frenzy. And he's got a stun back online. Meanwhile, look at how far back Crew are playing on this. They're not really concerned about playing on site, and that's very different when you think about the round that we're in. Oftentimes, you want to see him play a little bit closer. You don't have the same utility. You don't have the same spam ability. Mazzino's already gotten it to half. Aspas dashing through, all attention drawn that way. Now you've got a couple swings coming out from LEV, and they're ill-advised as Melcher's able to get a couple of kills. Aspas still stuck. Tex trying to draw as much attention as eyes as he can, and he cannot. Crew get the pistol.
Yeah, that's 3 pistol round wins right now in this series from the side of Crew. So it's not like they're not starting off hot. It's now this next round where it all kind of tends to crumble. Now on attack icebox last time around, their anti-eco is honestly awesome. This is that overheat I was talking about. But just to talk about your point, Doug, the whole reason why they decided to play back was because they know they took out King, and without having any smokes for the retake, it's really hard for the defenders to take those engagements, take those fights, because you can one-way the spike and whatnot from your own smokes player of Melzer. So job well done so far, and for now and with Crew, it's how do you avoid getting eco'd again? You don't want to get eco'd this time around. You want to be able to build up some type of lead going into this, get some type of momentum on this map pick of yours.
Interesting decision that was made there. We can keep a close eye on it. It seemed like MTA was the one who was going to be scooping up the word, but in the closing moments, they handed it over to Heat. Obviously prioritizing getting that Rolling Thunder online. Shy has crept up really far here, and I don't think they know.
No, they
He's
don't
managed to
know
get
at all.
past the cam, and King is dead. This is really nice timing from Shy once more.
Good job.
That's a nicer, 2 nicer shots.
Oh, spacing is not too good right now from the side of Crew. It's getting scrappy.
They're all lit up, but the spam from Heat keeps them back. For a moment there, it was sinking in once more. Wow.
Hey, pop shots going off, but that was a close round. Leviathan almost did that with what, just one sheriff invested or a couple sheriffs
No,
invested
it
in
was just one.
classics.
Yeah, it was just one.
And now the economy is not looking too good for the side of KRU. Only one rifle saved. They might have to invest fully into this round. The start of the round is great, but it's these moments when like the actual execution comes through. How, you know, Shy is a little bit too far ahead of the players coming out main. There needs to be more coordination and sync if you want to be able to take out a team like Leviathan and basically secure that second seed no matter what.
Kesnet accelerating, trying to navigate through the fault line, and that's a really nice opener onto Aspas.
There.
It's a nice default. A long control there. I like that slide rollout. Gets you into that little cubby, allows you to slide in back and forth. And now a freeze to the round. This is what we saw Leviathan doing very well on the last map of Icebox after getting a pick. The thing here is they have no info on the other side of the map apart from that camera.
Right.
So there's no pressure being put on anywhere other than A site right now. Calm. Takes a little bit long to break that drone, but he will do it at the end of the day. Kesnet is sliding into the backside. Good util.
Mazzino's stun should be up soon. Yeah, it's up now. Kesnet getting aggressive. King getting cleaned up, but they hold them back. What a heroic hold from Mazzino and Com. Mazzino with 4 is lever on the board.
Yeah, just bunkering in short A at the top right there and allowing the fights to come to him, allowing him to get 4 into that round, the Collat lineup, and now he's 1 off a breach ult himself. They were down 4v5. It was looking so promising once the 3v5 came through.
There was just nothing to clear short.
Yeah.
There was no pressure being applied there, so Mazzino and Colin were able to post up.
And KRU, they did a really good job of taking engagements on the actual back site together, but once it came to that short A fight, they just weren't on the same page.
Yeah.
Kesnet ran in too early. He dies for free, basically. He was still Omen Flash, keep in mind. And then the 2 players swinging default were way too late. So still some coordination missing from the side of KRU, but it's looking better than Icebox, that's for sure. This time more pressure being put on front B from the side of Shy, and the same A default coming through and a Gib.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, they're just chilling right now, waiting for any type of re-aggression. Trying to give Leviathan a taste of their own medicine, but if Shy decides to walk into this garage, there's a good chance he falls.
I mean, there's a judge on the other side.
Yeah, the judge is so annoying to play against.
And there's really nothing he can do to clear it out. So instead of even flirting with the possibility of danger, he decides to opt back over towards A, where the rest of his team is taking all of this space. Kesnet's really far up. Com has his dart. 1 invested, still has the recon to play around.
Jeez, he did so much damage with that dart on MTA. He's sitting at 75.
Spike planted.
The retake utility's about to come out.
Com's got the dart lined up, ready to go. When does he pull the trigger on this?
A double layered approach on this retake.
Oh, that's nice. They're going to try to flush him out of hell.
Yeah, they're still stuck behind the smoke, though. The cage pops up. Graffiti gets taken out. Osbos traded. There's trades across the board. It's left to Kesnet alone in a 1v3, and he can't do anything. He gets swung by 2 players, and a nice retake from Leviathan. Doug, that approach on the retake was so sick. They used Osbos's Neon Wall to bait out utility for the delay. That's why you saw Heat use that breach utility in screens, in CT. But it was the double layered approach on the retake. You're going to see a lot of teams do this. A lot of good teams, at least. You know, try to bait out a lot of that utility on the post plant. And then, you know, just win that battle, win that exchange. I mean, at this point, look, Melzer, he's stuck there with no utility, nothing to help him out. And it's just easy at that moment.
We often talk about a flood in a retake attempt like that when you're dumping all of the utility and everyone's swinging at the same time. And the fun thing about how LEV do it is it's not an instant response to what the attack side is doing. It's like they choose to break the dam and they choose when they flood. Exactly. And I think that's what makes it so difficult for KRU to be able to navigate.
Something else that's going to be difficult is these 2 trips they're going to have to navigate through. I say that, but nobody gets punished.
Oh, they've invested the Rolling Thunder too. Kesnet was the only one who kind of found some safe passage, but he gets cleaned up. Now the spike plan has been denied. KRU have to find another option.
But the fighting squad from Leviathan, 4 members sitting and facing KRU head on.
Spike down.
Winning the trades. It's up to Heat alone.
With a stinger in hand, 1 point away from having his ult online, gets his first, but Mazzino with 3. So KRU will have the Rolling Thunder going into the next round.
Yeah, that's going to be a good ultimate they can use to get a sight, or maybe hold it for the post plan as well. But I have to point out, Leviathan, they were ready for that. They had 2 trips from the start of the round on B site, allowing Tex to creep in here in the back amongst the chaos of that Hunter's Fury from Calm and snag that kill onto Kesnet, who oftentimes when you're playing a Neon on this map is going to be isolated a lot.
Gotta go.
Couple of key ults here. MTA one away from having his Hunter's Fury too. As you see the exchange of utility at the beginning of A main, often commonplace, but this time there's a little bit more behind it for LEV. They invest the paranoia, they invest the stun. Kills are traded 1 for 1, and that continues to be the case. But they overcook, they overheat, they feed Calm as LEV gets his 4th.
What a sick A reclear from Leviathan. The Breach Blast clearing out Melzer in the TP spot. The Neon stun off the wall to dissuade Kesnet, who's been doing that rollout to get to that box a lot. And then, yeah, you're isolating fights in the actual A lobby and no one can follow up. Kesnet got absolutely destroyed by Calm in that moment. Did you see that?
Yeah,
That was
ridiculous.
That was insane. Cosmetic stun. He killed him stunned while Kesnet was sliding. What is that? Might be one of the nastiest shots I've seen.
Smoke out towards A main, the shock dart, the spam.
Geez.
Calm gets a kill.
Yeah, he's not falling for that lurk smoke, Doug.
No.
He's going for more, feeling it a little too much. Slow down, buddy. Now you gave Kesnet a rifle, but it's all right. It's 4-2. You won the first map. I get it.
Aspas has an op. The paranoia comes through. There's a Rolling Thunder that we mentioned. We'll tag up a couple. Do they try to fill him behind this?
Big investment. God. Rolling Thunder.
This is often where we see Kesnet push the pace. And against most other teams, he finds success with it. But this time, a bit more of a tempered approach. Takes a step back. Tex with the op now. Do they try to force their way into this site? Aspas has already gotten out. He's in the corner. Kesnet with 3 on it. Make that 4 as Crew get their 3rd.
And now for Leviathan, maybe a timeout of some sorts, maybe trying to slow it down, make sure you go back to that disciplined play. Calm, he did a great job getting that first blood there, but the overheat on the short A, the overcommitment on this fight is what gave Kesnet the rifle to just pop off and get a 4K. You cannot be giving Kesnet the time of day to warm up in this series, because when Kesnet is online, it's a whole nother story of Crew.
Already cut some conversation in the Leviathan camp. Does not look like they're pulling the trigger on the timeout, but I imagine that's a note that will be brought up later.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too overeager, a little too overconfident. You can get punished by teams when you are playing in that way. We saw it on the pistol round as well from King. He got that first blood on the Kesnet, decided to peek outside a garage, got traded. All of a sudden you lose the pistol round.
It's a very different approach from Crew here. We've seen them try to force A main so many times, but a different look. They've invested the dart towards garage, made a ton of noise. Now they're having to put the drone in there too.
Let's get broken with no follow-up, but that will have King back up out of that garage area. So now there's no more info in garage. There is still a camera that can see the cross though from Tex. That's why he's just AFK on it right now. But he has to worry about front B after that trip is broken. So Crew did a good job of creating gaps and kind of spreading the defenses thin. But where are they going to end and how are they going to end?
There's that cam you were just mentioning. With a little bit of help over the top. Mazzino also looking over shoulder from, Mazzino looking over shoulder from back B to make sure he's not getting pushed in garage. Now Crew looking to get a little bit more pacey with this. They've invested the Hunter's Fury. They've invested the paranoia. King tagged down to almost nothing on the swing, and the smoke somehow stays alive. Finding a second lease at life, but Kesnet continues to light things up. 2 on the round for him as Crew gets the spike down.
And Calm is doing this late flank, but he's going to be met by a trip. He does break it. The reaction for Crew needs to be instant, but it's not instant enough. Aspas gets the trade on to Kesnet.
Shy's left in a 1v2, and remember, Shy's been really good for Crew here.
Oh, but who has a drone this late into the half? It's a post-plant scenario for Shy. He's stuck here. The stun comes out.
Not quite deep enough, though. Shy's able to take a step back. He's been isolating it down into 1. Now dropping the camp, but against Aspas, this is going to be such a difficult fight to win. Do you call the bluff? He's holding it all the way. You've got to get on the swing. Aspas swings at just the right time.
Wow. And after map 1, I saw a comment from Twitch chat saying Aspas is the movement god. I mean, it looks like it from what he just did. That little sidestep after getting off the spike was too cold, too clean. And Shy, he just couldn't connect onto him.
Last player standing.
But that round was set up very well from the side of KRU. The retake, calm, the pressure that he put from behind, that was so nice. But these rounds, they're kind of coming down to the wire. That was a 1v1 there.
Standing ahead.
Aggressive dart here. Gets another kill set up for Calm. And he's going to find it, isn't he? The tag onto MTA. The third shot splits the uprights.
A rare miss on the Sovalt. Usually Calm's always good for one, as I like to say. He will be using the drone to re-clear the garage info. Trying to check out if anybody slipped in while he was using that Hunter's Fury. Doesn't see anybody though, so gives a little bit of peace of mind, allows him to rotate back to A to help out Aspas. But right now, the macro game from KRU has been great. Smoke there to delay any type of info on shorts. I don't know if Aspas heard the cue, maybe not. So this might work against KRU in a way. But again, the defenses from the side of Leviathan, they're so spread. If there's another C-split that happens, the Flood might not make it here in time for the side of Leviathan.
Yeah, there's not a ton of help here. I mean, King's on an island, Texas close by, sure. And I don't know the timing on Mazzino's stun. If he's at a good place, he might be able to impact the play from there, but it doesn't matter now. He's dead. He's caught on the rotate. Caught in motion. Kesnet getting dropped by King as he gets two. Make that three. No. I thought he was done, but Melser's able to trade. A 2v2 now on the side. Melser trying to get a little too cheeky, but again, a magnetic snap from Aspas. How does he do it?
He's so quick with it, Doug. He's so fast. The instantaneous flick after that smoke fades. He's insane. KRU again, they set up the round great though. Like that lurk out of garage window, the timing was immaculate. But King, how does he get so many kills in backside? Look at this. Off of the slide, he's 5 HP. He did so much work, so much damage.
I mean, he almost gets a third too. Yeah, that's just so snappy.
It's ridiculous. How do you beat that guy, man? Gotta ask G2.
Yeah, because KRU haven't been able to solve it. A much more competitive. Whoa, easy.
I thought he was gonna go for the slide. He surely would have gotten punished if he went for it, so wise to not do so.
They've made a fair amount of noise here towards A. They know that Neon's close by.
Yeah, most of the time they've taken all this real estate as well. It's been a commitment, so that's why you see a heavy lean here. 3 members right now from the side of Leviathan set up, waiting for this. That dart will give even more info after the jump spot.
Good night. 3 of them spotted.
Yeah, you can't commit anymore. You gotta show pressure. But while all that was happening, look at C-Site. Look at this guy. How is he here?
Shy is so far up.
Yo.
How does he keep doing this?
I don't know. He's finding every single gap possible. From Leviathan, he could do some mad damage right here. Oh, he gets the first. That might be a little bit too early. I say that, but the poise from him to sit in window is great. Now Texas on an island, Doug.
Yeah, he's got no help anywhere near him. He's going to have to hold this back on his own, and another falls at the hands of Shy. A little bit clumped up there as they commit to getting the spike down, now forcing into post-plant positions. They didn't have much of a buy going into this round. Kesnet playing up close with the Vandal in hand, and then 2 Guardians surrounding him. No Rolling Thunder.
Watch out. I'm out.
No Hunter's Fury. No big ults here. And Kesnet's already down. He was the only one playing on site, though. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. But the TP out from Melser. He tries to buy some time. Manages to stay alive for a little bit longer as MTA tees off. KRU gets a 4.
Yeah, MTA cleaned up that kill on the Aspas, who had the Neon all pop primed and ready. So clutch. Those were the plays that we saw him getting ahead of in the series against Hunter Thieves. I'm glad we're seeing it here today. But Shy, what an absolute animal. Finding that lurk timing. Getting all the way behind the defenses. Popping that Cypher ultimate, allowing KRU to have full info on the site. Tex, he had too many angles, too many sets of utility to be worried about. He got absolutely rinsed. So it will be another A default from the side of KRU. And another freeze to the round.
This is a much lighter lean towards A that we've seen from the defensive side. Look at how far King and Tex are. Oh.
Cage triggered.
take a little bit of damage, have to take a step back. But now the thing is, if KRU decide to try to re-clear C, they're going to have to invest utility to do so. But now with everything that they've dropped in towards A, you imagine this is where they want to end. They put the wall down, they've dumped almost all of their arsenal into this site.
They're so worried about short A after what happened to them in that previous round. Shy is going to face Calm. He wins the 1v1. KRU are in a good spot in this post right now.
A much more competitive half.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no way for LEV to get into this.
No, this is so difficult. The guns aren't in your favor. The utility game is not in your favor either. So KRU, they've put up quite a fight.
And it looked like for a moment it was going to be a rough half again.
Yeah.
But some really nice adaptations from KRU. I think the way that they've been showing different looks, again, Shy, getting all of the space he's been able to get, has been very successful for them. And we have a map on our hands.
No, we definitely do. Aspas will be the only one that saves a Vandal going into the last round of the half. But yeah, and I can't help but go back to, you know, some of the mistakes that we saw Leviathan make, you know, in the pistol round overheating, Palm overheating top short.
Taken out.
It allowed KRU to get 2-3 rounds in succession after that. And that's why you see them putting up such a great fight. You're seeing Kezan have way more time to warm up now. And it's a best of 5. You're going to go the distance, or you could at least.
I'm out of here.
And you don't want to do that against a team like KRU, who,
Go, go, go.
honestly, they just... The story of this team making champs every year is something special, Doug.
Aspas is taking a lot of space down short here.
He might be able to do something special himself right here alone.
Yep. A snap onto the first. Heat is dead.
So ridiculous.
And just like that, I mean, that little kill is enough to throw a wrench into the plans of the attack. Now you don't have reach utility to play around, but also, more importantly, now you're forced to reset the map.
We'll see if Shy is able to break that trip to relieve some pressure on these players in the back of A. Surely somebody from Leviathan wants to cheat over.
Mazzino on the jump spot almost gets his head taken off.
Yeah. KRU didn't let that cook enough, that trip being broken. Had they had done that, maybe waited, I don't know, 10 more seconds, maybe what you see Mazzino doing now on the minimap would have happened, and now you go into a 4v2 on the actual A site.
Instead, they're forced to go back C. They know that no space has been taken beyond the long because of the trip that they have up.
And this might be the first time where they actually go back on the default. Going A, you know, taking all that space, going back and ending C.
That certainly seems to be the case with the Hunter's Fury, with the dart over the top. You saw Shy try to get a little bit of space to relieve some pressure in through Garage, but is unfortunately met by King on the other side.
Yeah, he ended up going in way too early there. Now it's a 3v5 with 10 seconds left. And the utility game is all in favor of Leviathan. They're already flooding back site.
Fully disrespecting the smokes, but
I'm out of here.
it just wasn't enough. I mean, I thought for a second their LEV was pushing the pace a little bit too fast, but they're going to get to 7. The defuse comes through. Still a good half, all things considered.
Yeah, it was back and forth, honestly. A very competitive half. No team is clearly in the lead right now. It's all going to rely on this next half, this next pistol. Who's going to dictate the pace of the next half?
And remember, KRU have won every
single one.
Yeah, they've won 3 pistols in this series. So if they're able to maintain that streak, we're going to have something good on our hands. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. KRU that's putting up much stronger of a fight. 2 rounds separating the 2 squads. And it's really, I mean, it's Kesnet who's leading from the front for KRU.
Yeah, all off of that round where he was able to...
That 4K.
Yeah, snag that Vandal, get 3 more after that. And this defensive side for KRU last time around against C9 was great. They played a lot of good retake styles, and you kind of have to do that on a map like Haven. There's 3 sites. You can't really hold everything. You have to play retake on one of them. Otherwise, you might just get punished if you're the solo site player.
And they have a lot of really good tools when it comes to retake. They've got Sova's util, Breach's util. There's a lot to play around. And also it helps when you're able to clean up one of the members on the other side. Tex is dead, Aspas half health.
Yeah. And KRU, they were playing a 1-3-1. Something that's also very common on a map like this of Haven, because it does give you the option to flood C or A if they go there. And obviously, you get a pick front B like that if they do try to walk in.
And so this is the retake setup that you were talking about, because they can't fully invest on having everything on every single site. They've left A.
Yeah, and oftentimes it'll just be the cue of, you know, utility being used, and then you know that you win the exchange because you have the utility now.
Melser just got a smoke up. MTA has his start up too. I imagine they'll wait to
30
use
seconds
those
left.
when the retake is in full effect.
Wow. A big shining light right now for Leviathan is they were able to sneak into the site with only using 2 Omen smokes. They didn't have to use dart, shock darts, or anything for the side of Leviathan. I say that, and Osmos gets picked off by Kesnet.
The paranoia was a little early. It's not going to tag onto anyone. The shock was a little early too. Now crew are just going to try to force their way into this. Mazzino trying to hold things back from Graffiti, only able to find 2. Calm left in a 1v3. His position was really nice to be able to strike on the 1. Oh, it gets down to Shy with 40 HP staying alive. Another pistol the way of crew.
Yeah, they almost lined up there, but being up 5v3, you play the numbers game, and there you go. Yeah, it came down to a 1v1, but Shy is there for the trade. Kesnet getting 2 first bloods into that round. 1 front B, 1 on Osmos, who got stuck in the front of A and got stunned. This is where we see crew shine on this defensive side. Utility was great. The macro game was great. Osmos was stunned as that smoke was fading and spawn.
One enemy remaining.
Cool, he dinks him.
Yeah, it was so close. Just through the body. Sheriff in that moment would have done the job.
So the streak of success for the pistols continue for crew. That's now 4 in a row.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, they've got that figured out, man.
When you have the individual talent that crew has, it makes it easy on those pistol rounds to hit all those shots. That's where you see a lot of the mechanics shine through. A little bit of RNG, of course, you know, with some of that first bullet inaccuracy on the weapons, but most notably that Sheriff, it shoots straight.
Gotta go.
Unless they fully force into Flood out here, Lev should be able to get the spike down.
No need to, honestly, just play the correct fundamental game, play the disciplined approach. You can flood in together with all this set utility. Shy just needs to hold garage window.
Yeah, Kesnet backside, plucks Calm out of the sky. A really nice shot there as Garage falls too. They're going to try to overwhelm him, but there are too many targets to deal with on both sides. He's going to get the defuse to half, 3/4 of the way. Lev falls apart, and crew tie this up at 7.
Yeah, great, again, great macro gameplay from crew. They give up all of C, they play to their advantages. They're looking really good right now. They're looking very, very good right now, actually, Doug. They saved 3 rifles into that round. Nice flicks from Kesnet.
Remaining.
And it's been relatively easy so far in these last 2 defensive rounds. They weren't really pushed too hard, other than the retake on A, where they just play the numbers game. But a very, very convincing retake on a C site there. And another 1-3-1 approach. They just want to be, they want to play this flood. They want to be at every site as soon as the execute comes through.
It becomes a game of timing as the first dart comes out. The orb handed over to Calm. And that's some of that side for Util already cleared out. They're committing into this, aren't they? They've got the paranoia out. The cage goes up, and it doesn't matter as Kesnet falls. Shy trying to stay alive. Dash stun through. And Lev might take a quick step back here, but they have so many members invested out onto the site. I don't know that they can cut their losses and get away.
Cover going out.
And I also don't know that they know that there are 2 members on site. Oh, yeah, they're right under them. Now they know. Now they've been found out. All kills going the way of Lev.
Lev do such a good job of freezing the round on their attack executes. It's something that they like to do a lot on Icebox, especially on that A site. You know, we see them use that harbor wall to cut off back site, and then they just kind of wait and fight back together, see if anyone runs into them. And oftentimes, you know, when defenders are starved for information on the actual site, that's when players will get exposed like this, and it gives you the window of opportunity to just punish the defending players who are trying to get that info and see if you're still there on the site. So putting doubt in the minds of crew, but some decent damage done from the side of crew as well, and Kesnet gets his head taken off. I don't know how Calm hit that shot. It was probably insane.
Calm is quietly putting together a really nice series so far.
Yeah, him and Mazzino.
Also, look at how proactive crew have gotten here mid. They've taken all this garage space. They've slipped past the shock dart that came through B, And they're all the way up into spawn at this point.
They might be able to catch the spike in rotation to going A main if nobody checks it.
Yeah, they're not looking.
Break this. Oh, they're gonna break and swing. Kami gets punished.
He was in his util, and they flood off of that. As soon as the trip goes down, the kills go up for KRU. Aspas on the swing, able to punish Heat, grab the spike, and instead of swinging back out, they want to take the fight, and that's exactly what they do.
Wow.
So now with Spike in hand in a 2v1 situation, MTA is left in a brutal spot. He's going to try to win this foot race. And he's gotten here ahead of time. King has to be ready. That's exactly what he was.
I can't believe King got that kill. It's so hard to kill somebody wide swinging into you like that. But wow, Aspas, what trades in A lobby there. Had it not been for him, this round surely would have gone the way of KRU.
Well, and I think even seeing them decide to turn around and fight.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, that was an insane shot.
Yeah. Going back and deciding to fight and push the pace on the other side of the smoke, that's one of the things that... yeah, I saw that too, guys. Tex just got scared, apparently. But that's one of the things that LEV does so well. Those decisive snap moments. Hey, we're fighting together.
Yeah. The coordination you have to have and the communication you have to have in order to do so is unparalleled. It's so tough to do so on this mixed roster as well.
And the trust. And you've got to trust your guys. KRU back on the broken by, a couple of sheriffs, a Bucky. Well, we haven't seen that in a little while.
Yeah. And it's so rough for the side of KRU too, because that was such a good instant reaction to getting down, you know, Kesda dying early and dropping. And you had the man advantage. It just gets squandered by this ridiculous, like, mid-second moment, you know? Aspas sliding in with King swinging at the same time, like you said.
We've seen a couple of moments where I thought MTA was going to get punished, man. But there's nothing found there. Instead,
Right there.
LEV decide to explore the rest of the map.
Spike drop.
Yeah, MTA is doing a good job of just jiggling this A lobby, seeing if there's anybody walking up on him. It will be a front B execute. Kesnet, he has the only gun here.
But look at this. I mean, they just used their utility so well to get out onto sites.
Yeah.
You got the Aftershock back site, you've got the cage, you've got the neon wall. There's so much that makes it, I mean, borderline impossible to hold the site. And then they continue to scale past it, not just satisfied with getting the site. They're hunting you down, buddy. Kesnet on the trade, able to get one, but that's the only success they find.
Yeah, doing things together is the playbook of Leviathan right now. Even just getting into that C-Link smoke, it drops. You have a bunch of players fighting with you. You had a stun to follow up. Beautiful work right now from the side of Leviathan. Not dropping early on the actual site execute. And just fighting together. Looks so good and a big investment from NTA. Using that Hunter's Fury on what was a thrifty round. You only had a Bucky and a Guardian.
So we do see a timeout called here.
First one.
Yeah, they've got a shot at this.
Yeah, and I think that's why you do see this heavy lean towards A. Breaches, when they start top short A like this is a fighting stun.
Yeah.
It lands fast. It could actually hit the neon. There it is.
And it does.
It's neon, but no follow-up this time around in Calm. Oh, he's going for a lineup play. Doesn't connect again, but maybe can do some damage.
Meanwhile, Aspas bringing out the finger guns to swing out, and a clean shot from Melser. MTA's in a really nice spot here too. He's gonna spot Tex, trying to find safe passage across into the smoke. This hold is beautiful from KRU. You can't let this one slip away. KRU gets 8.
Yeah, what a great hold, what a great flood. That's the benefits of playing this defensive style that KRU have been playing. You're able to flood in fast this time around. There's so many isolated fights. King fighting a 1v1 in hell. Aspas with the finger guns. He has to slide into 2-3 players, face checking. A lot of isolated fights here onto the actual site.
Oh, I think that shot from Melser probably is what secured them that round.
Yeah, disgusting.
Because then MTA is not able to find nearly as much value on Texas trying to contact out onto the site. Aspas continues to run amok, and then who knows? Some big round there.
Wow.
And a really nice start from Mazzino on the other side.
That's not something you see every day. The attacking side getting the spam on the front B player.
KRU are trying to be opportunistic about this, feeling the pressure is going in through B. They try to push out towards Garage, and they find success. Now keep an eye on Melser. He's been caught. Shy was pushing it too. He finds Mazzino.
This was such a disgusting round from the side of KRU, Doug.
Spike down mid.
Unbelievable round. A telestrator worthy round from the side of KRU. That was beautiful. The instantaneous reaction to push outside of garage and the breach ult to push all those players into those players, that was ridiculous.
And that was off the opener.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, Mazzino getting the best. I mean, getting the best of. Getting Kesnet there.
That was such a beautiful round of Valorant.
Dude, and we've got to talk about Shy again. Man, he's just been so steady for KRU.
All year long. And he's looking as confident as ever, too.
Yeah.
That's the recipe for success that Leviathan needs to use in order to defeat KRU, because right now it's an exchange of utility on the actual sites, but it's KRU that have the advantage because they're going second.
They're fully light armoring on the side of LEV. All 5, and they had the money to do it. Or they had the money to invest full if they wanted to. This is a very similar look to what we've seen. The wall goes up, Aspas dashes out. They've gotten B. No real interest in drawing out utility or anything like that. Forget about defaulting. They just want to take this fight.
Yeah. Last time it was C-Link. This time it's A-Link. Are they going to punish?
They're both blind. They were both paranoid. King, really nice timing on the swing. And Aspas gets caught a little bit too far. They've pushed the pace. They've pushed the envelope in ways that were ill-advised. A little bit more of a 1-for-1. Common Mazzino, only 2 that remain. That Rolling Thunder's from really far back. And you see the TP out from Elser. He's managed to get high ground, avoiding the stun from the ult. Com waiting on the other side. They have so many things that they can do to delay this. They can do so many things to deny this, but they've run out of numbers. KRU come back from the dead to tie us up at 10.
Kesnet with the power of Neon, running all the way from C-Link, getting the trades onto A-Link. That was the winning factor of the round.
And honestly, it felt like they pushed up a little bit too far. You're right, Kesnet was there, but you've already been able to alleviate a lot of that pressure coming in from Link. Pushing past that is what got him caught.
Yeah, sometimes when you zone in a little too hard on one thing, you get punished from the side of the head. And that's exactly what Kesnet did. So fixated on that A-Link kill because that stun connected. I get it. It's right there. It's right within your grasp. But sometimes it's a little too greedy, like you mentioned.
And so we talked about how well Leviathan have been doing at defaulting. The previous round that we saw in round 20, there was none of that. There was just a full send B. Now it seems like they've resorted to what they were previously doing a little bit more. A little bit of noise made towards C. You've got the cam up mid. And that's enough to draw rotations from KRU. They've got 4 members here on this side of the map.
Yeah. That's all because nothing was shown towards A. Just now, that drone is going to clear MTA off the A line.
And now what's the response here? As soon as the drone is called, look at Kesnet already rotating back towards A. They invest the ult out from Melser to make sure that's where the hit is.
And I love this proactivity right now from the side of KRU. MTA and Kesnet, they're getting active right now. They're going to know it's not A, and this is going to allow those players in A-Link right now to already lean towards C, to get there, to help out Shy. He has full utility. Same with Melzer. This site hit might be disastrous from the side of Leviathan, and this is such an important round, Doug.
You're right, they're ahead of it. The paranoia is already here. Do they have time to flip the map again? I mean, you've got a little bit of space up garage from Tex. They're going to try.
You got to go, and you got to go fast, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, it can be so devastating for you. And KRU, they look so collected. MTA sneaking through the smoke. He gets traded out.
They've got enough resources here backside. Aspas on the swing. There was a stun. He's able to get him 1. 2 remaining left on the defense. 1 of them backside with 10 seconds left. They managed to get enough breathing room to commit to getting the spike down. Shy's going to have to win this out on his own. In the face of 3 members from LEV. Desperately trying to push his team into a lead. And the respect that LEV are showing into this is so clean. Look, the one way he's going to have to deal with, all of the space he's going to have to clear.
That's brutal.
Surely there's no way Shy's able to pull this off.
No, there's no way. And also Mazzino and Com are using their utility. There was a dart being held out, a stun being held out. There's no way Shy can pull this one off. He should just save. Save that weapon, bring it into the next. He's the only one with the economy not thriving right now. He needs to get out of here.
It's a tap.
Yeah, he's gone.
That's all it'll be.
That is such an impressive round win for Leviathan, Doug. I mean, talk about down to the wire. They had nowhere else to go. They had to commit to be there. And I thought KRU were the ones that were going to weather that storm, but It was Leviathan in those fights on the site with the trading. Aspas, he had a lot of targets to look at when he slid back sight, but the fact that he was still able to get one on that was a W for his squad.
And
Look at this.
It was I mean, this swing up from Aspas was really nice, but I mean, this round was set up because of what the triple pump fake that they hit at the beginning of the round. They started C, they drone out A, they try to go back C, they end B, like,
Yeah.
that was playing the map to its fullest in every way you possibly can. And yes, they burned that candle down really low. But you'd argue it was right on time.
Yeah.
Kesnet with the op. They've given him an aggressive line down short off of the stun from Heat.
That allows the lean. And a fast reaction from the side of Leviathan. Ooh, Tex gets taken out, walking into the crosshairs of Kesnet. Just not aware that he could have that line, I guess. It is the first time we've seen Kesnet pop that operator out in this series.
Yeah, but you gotta expect when there's a stun out from Link like that, that
it could be a possibility, and the economy as well for the side of KRU, right?
And so they've made a lot of noise C. It seemed like they were gonna try to freeze, and they did. But now doubling down on their efforts.
And it's gonna be a late lurk here from King as well into Garage. Puncher's Fury invested very early on, not connecting on any players.
Mazzino's stuck, and I don't know that they know. Aspas is going to be the first fall. Calm finding value off of his Hunter's Fury as King tries to take Garage, and he can't. Mazzino's still here. He was never dealt with. He's going to fall. He almost finds a second, but Heat's on the trade. A 2v2 now for the site. Heat playing back plat. What do they have? They have a paranoia out from King. They don't have any shots. They don't have anything else like that to play around, but they do have spam. And that spam might be enough. They've got to see the Tracers coming in from high ground. Melser with 8 HP. Can Calm guess right? Can he find the right target? He dropped the weapon. He's fumbled the bag. The Red Bull clutch for KRU.
Oh my goodness. Heartbreaking for Leviathan. Mazzino, he did so much to bring that one back. But Calm, he's had such a great map so far. That was the only moment this map that he fumbled like that. Oh, even the kill on Kesnet was so clean from him.
One enemy remaining.
I didn't see if he was out of bullets, if that's why he was looking for something else.
Yeah, he was. He was trying to find another rifle on the ground. The rifle of King. That's tough. That's so tough. That's a tough pill to swallow. But you have to bounce back. It's not over yet. It's 11-11. And that's why you see the timeout. And he knows. We are a team to be reckoned with.
Let's go,
What do we see in this round? Aspas 1 point away from his ult. Heat's halfway to his. A faster start from Lev.
Yeah. And the 1-3-1 again, it allows for so many members. Ooh.
I think they really wanted to commit to that. They dropped a smoke back there too to conceal what they were trying to do. But thwarted in their initial efforts.
Look at how many members of KRU are here, Doug.
This is going to be a mess. They've got 4 members here. The only one who's not by a shot. He's playing all the way back towards C, but Melser keeping him back on his own as best as he can alongside Heat. They run into a brick wall. No space is found.
I have the spike.
Calm in a position to make up for the previous round, but a difficult task, a 1v3. He's got a no shies waiting around the other side. He's gotten it a little bit closer, a 1v2 now. With dart in hand and drone to play around, spotting one, not realizing the second was closer. Very well done.
Yeah, he picked the perfect spot to hold that off angle from. That dart did not connect onto him whatsoever, so there's no way for Calm to know if he's there holding or not. Kesnet, the only one tagged in that moment. But yeah, the fast flood, it's too much. It's been too much for Leviathan to handle. They've had no answer for this. I would say only on the C site has Leviathan done a good job of freezing the actual site hit and then following up with more utility or holding for those fights. But just like that, we're sitting at match point for KRU.
Lev on a light buy.
And look, just look at the mini-map, Doug. KRU have not changed this default. I mean, maybe one round with Kesnet opping A short. That was the only one.
With power and numbers, you're right. They like to rotate fast. Lev seemed to be committing onto this, though. Aspas has popped his ult. Another attempt towards A. What do they have to flood out with?
I mean, they got everything because they didn't decide to go out right away this time around. KRU, they picked the right time to play all the way back and do a full 5v5 retake.
Heat doesn't have a stun, and it's pretty early on in the round. I imagine he used it right at the beginning, so it might be a few more moments before he gets that back up.
Good stun to compensate from the side of Kesnet, though, Doug.
Mazino's on the swing, able to clean up MTA. Oh, he wasn't able to get the ult off! Tex still playing back here. He drops his ult at the worst possible time. It's Calm again in a clutch situation. The stun spotting the first. He's healthy, and the members of KRU are not. Do they dare swing? Do they force Calm to take the fight on his terms? Shy with 3. The defuse will come through. KRU take Haven. We've got a series on our hands as we turn our attention over to map 3. KRU on the attacking side. Again, can they get Kesnet active? Can KRU continue this streak of winning pistols? They've won 4 in a row, now looking to push it to 5.
Winning every single pistol would be absolutely massive. That's a good start to do so. Kesnet takes out the head of Calm through a smoke. Now it's left up to King and his devices. He's got Ospas and Mazino flooding in with him soon.
One bullet was all it took. They've managed to get into the post plants. They've gotten the spike down. And again, they're playing really far off. I think we see this so many times on Sunset. This is very common. They get the spike down on B, they take a big step back, they drop smokes, and then you're just kind of hoping and praying that your bullets land, that you're able to hit this spam through the smokes.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's exactly what we're gonna get. Additionally, we often see LEV or defensive teams forced to fight. They have to flood into the smoke. They want to try to disrupt some of this spam setup. The paranoia through it. Now we're starting to see the flood come in, but Aspas doesn't even get out. Not even able to fully clear the smoke. Mazino's left alone. It seems like another pistol the way of KRU. That's exactly what it is.
5 pistols for KRU. And Kesnet with that opener. That was massive. And also, what else he did on the site, he was the only one. 4 players went back after that spike was planted, and he was just there to feint that they were playing in the actual site. It made Mazino use his breach fault line on default box. Nobody was there to reciprocate it. So baiting out all that utility by acting like you're actually playing in the site and then just playing the post, Shy, just spamming away. That's what the ghosts are so good for in that post plant position. So an insane pistol round win from the side of KRU. Already adaptations being made in their Sunset. Perfect stun. Connects onto 3 members, but there's 5 here, Doug.
Oh, a little bit of noise. Game's being played. I mean, you're just waltzing into a slaughter. Calm able to get a couple in exchange. Another shock dart invested. If Kesnet dashes and slides around any sort of threat, Heat cleans him up. Mazino, the last to stand with the frenzy. And there's really not much footing to be found there. KRU get their second.
Yeah, 2 very decisive rounds. No hesitation from the side of KRU. Weathering the storm of all 5 players of Leviathan in that B main. We've seen a lot of funky stuff happen towards B main, you know, most notably Superman and EG using a little smoke there, getting free picks at players that are trying to push through that. But it's so different when you're running against this Neon who can just slide through all these stun lines. Even if he gets stunned, he can get out of it.
I think the important thing here for KRU is, again, if they start slow, things get really rough. We've seen them win pistols, and then we've seen them get eco'd in the next round. So
yeah.
For KRU, again, that's a big step, and it seems like an easy one, but it's been a problem in the past.
This game is so punishing when it comes to those plays, when it comes to those thrifties. Tex, he's trying to finesse in the backside right now. He's going to be met by multiple players.
His positioning is really nice, but he's not able to capitalize on it. Kesnet's able to clean him up, and now LEV on the attempt to push back. The flash timing is gorgeous. Wow, getting 2 with the frenzy there.
That was insane, Doug. How did he connect those shots? And now it's up to King in a 1v3?
Again, all of them playing back in main. The Cam's going to tag him on the first, and they're going to try to swing ahead of it. He's able to clean up 1! He's gotten it down to the very last target, and that's often the hardest. Heat drops him as KRU win the bonus.
Swinging together in the post plants, even the entries onto site, swinging back site. Even if Kesnet drops in that moment, you got the follow-up. When KRU are playing like this, when they look so coordinated and like they're on the same page, yeah, they could beat anybody, Doug. And right now, from the side of Leviathan, we've seen Tex play that back site before and finesse like he does usually, but there's always follow-up. This time around, he's on an island for way too long. Where's the follow-up from Mizzino to help him out? The flashes, the stun, or anything? Even a body to help him from Calm or anything? Nobody was close enough this time around, and Tex, he just dropped for free right there.
Right here.
It's a bold start to the round from Lev. To get Calm into that aggressive angle, to get the orb. 2 steps away from his ult now.
And the last time these two teams faced and a default like this was used, it was Aspas showing really way more aggressive into the actual B main, and the reaction from the side of KRU was to just speed up A. So already I like the approach from KRU to not just play off of what they see and feed into the hands of Leviathan. As I say that, I don't know how King gets that kill right on the cross. So what? 1-for-1 trade now.
A deep smoke up towards mid. And KRU, if they decide to go on to this is going to be really tough. Aspas is playing close by. You've got Mizzino who's playing in the smoke with full util. But he's not even really interested in it. This is a really dangerous spot. They're all waiting on the other side, but the paranoia is so nice from King. That causes a swing for Mizzino, but it's only one found. Now Aspas arrives at the scene, and he's instantly dismissed. Instantly dealt
30
with.
seconds left.
It seemed like KRU were the ones who were trapped. They were the ones who were stuck. But they're the ones left standing.
Now it's all up to Tex with his stinger. The spray and pray didn't work for 2 of his other members, but it's working for him right now. And he's not sitting too high and mighty himself. 29 HP to his name. He gets instantly deleted.
Tex might do this.
7 seconds left.
Shy gets enough space to get the spike down, and this problem just got infinitely harder for Leviathan. Tex with no real weapon to upgrade either. 79 HP. And all of the doubt creeping into his mind. Where does he go? Is there anybody holding a line? Can he even get safe passage across to try to get this rifle? I don't know that he can. So he has to take the fight to Shy. He's got the Stinger forward. It's the right weapon if he can swing out and punish, but he can't. Fancy footwork from Shy as KRU get up to 4.
Yeah, and it's just too tough in that moment when Shy actually creeps all the way in the back there by that screen area. I mean, he could be anywhere at that point. He could even be flanking you.
Yeah.
Who knows? But good on Tex to bring that down to a 1v1 in the first place. Keep in mind that was a thrifty buy. And yeah, the Stingers just couldn't quite connect. Usually we see the spray follow through. That gun can be so deadly, but a little bit of RNG going against the side of Leviathan. And those 2 kills that could have been acquired by Aspas and King make it so it was a 3v1.
5-1 for Shy. We continue to sing his praises. Winning the clutches. Winning those high impact moments. KRU up to 4 now. And at least for now, it seems like the stomp is going the other way.
Yeah, what a hot start from KRU. First time all series this has happened. Perfect timing for them as well. I think they have a good understanding that Shy used the cam from this positioning. Oh, I say that, but King might get... Oh no, he doesn't get peeked in time. Shy trying to get out of here. But it's going to be a re-clear on B main. So honestly, probably good on Shy to get out in the right timing. He would have gotten cleared here. And it's going to be a walk contact play onto A. Good reactionary play this time from KRU.
Lev are playing really far off on the site too.
Yeah.
It's his good reaction, you're right. I also think they're benefiting from the fact that Lev are playing a bit soft here.
Yeah, and also benefiting from the fact that they're not blowing all their utility to take this space. Something they struggled with last time around. The threat of contacting, I mean, that could have been a kill right there. That's why Tex has to give. King might get spammed here.
Oh, almost read it. King's the one who kills him. Now Melser repositioning. A very bold swing there. But no target found. Comp tried to peek on the other side of smoke, but he was hit by the stun. He had nowhere to go. And so Lev continued to slow walk into Melser's crosshair. It's another round for KRU.
And you could feel it in the arena. The players could feel it in the server. It's full momentum the way of KRU. And a breakdown on the side of Leviathan. They're not peeking together. It's ones going through that Omen smoke right there. The coordination just isn't quite there. Something happened in the last map. There needs to be a timeout. This needs to be talked about. Because it's slipping away right now from Leviathan. Man, yo, he's fired up right now, no cap. Disconnect like that, and that's one of your biggest strengths. It's no wonder why KRU are up 5-0 against you, because they're doing all those things right now.
Aspas has a Guardian light armor and is one away from his ult. Do they try to force the matter here to get him the ult and then hand the Guardian over to someone else?
I think maybe if he can get a pick off a contact trying to catch the lurker out and shy, maybe that would have been the cue.
Oh, Tex is going to get a shot at this.
This contact style, it's so deadly. Yeah, Tex takes that shot, doesn't connect.
Kesnet pops his ult. Mazzino's. Oh, he was looking at the wrong target. I thought he had him.
I know exactly.
He did too. Really nicely handled by Aspas, but again, Shy is on the trade. And so whenever it seems like Leviathan have found something that they can hang their hat on, it's instantly snatched back.
Enemy remaining.
Shy on the lurk as well, catching out King. Tex left to his devices. He's alone in spawn. Yeah, this has been a crazy attacking half from KRU. All things considered, last time around, they got barely any rounds on their attacking side. Now, Leviathan aren't out of this by any means. Don't get me wrong. I think it was the first time these two teams met in which KRU won the attacking half 8-4 and Leviathan stomped them the following half. One out 13-8. But KRU, they're putting themselves in a really good spot right now to get a big buffer.
I mean, there's a lot that has to go wrong here for LEV to kind of claw their way back into this. Look at the money that KRU have. They've got so much. And they have a couple of ults that they can, I mean, depending on how they use them, balloon and continue to apply pressure into the next couple of rounds.
And the timings that they're finding as well, it's just, they're so perfect. Like even there, right? Kesnet slides in. He decides to go into that market garage area. Then Mazzino's trying to go wrap behind him to get the trade. But he meets him. It's just like so insane. It's a game of timings right now.
Omen smokes traded. Kesnet taking space B main. There's a lot of help here too. But KRU have been making noise like this a couple of different ways. Often it's Kesnet, sometimes it's Shy who takes a lot of space. But then they reset, and now instead of focusing on this B main space, he was all the way at mid.
Yeah, I mean, he really took the fastest timing possible to get up mid. And there was a gap there. There was no trip, to be fair. Tex, he was just too aware in that moment. Maybe there needed to be a little bit more pressure somewhere else, maybe towards the A main.
King with paranoia out here. Switching over to the smoke, refreshing that one way. And he knows that that's where the fight is coming from, but there's no swing. All this does is buy time. It's actually KRU who tried to accelerate. KRU who tried to take the space, and the fall line from such a distance is so well timed.
Yeah, A main is on complete lockdown. Finally, Leviathan have an advantage in one of these rounds.
A notable one too, and it seems to be growing. Zeno with a couple of parting shots onto Kesnet after finding lethality.
He was making sure, you know, he had to make
you just
sure.
never know. Yeah. So MTA and Heat,
30 seconds
the
left.
only two that remain is LEV, seem to be on the doorstep of finally getting on the board here on Sunset.
And if KRU can make this one a little bit scrappy, get a couple guns out, might work to their favor in the following round.
Yeah,
Some players of LEV will have to be on light armor. That might be just the difference they need.
Yeah, I think that's the only way they can really deal some damage here. It doesn't even matter if they die. They're going to have so much to buy with, but it's a flawless round out from LEV.
And LEV need that. LEV needed this flawless round for sure to start building up some of economy of their own.
There were two members who didn't take any damage at all. So as you think about, as you were mentioning, building up the economy, not having to buy armor matters a lot.
Yeah. And also, at some point, you want to get that operator in the hands of Aspas.
Yeah.
We saw how deadly he's been in all these series with that operator. It's been a big part of Leviathan's success in the 2-0s that they've accumulated throughout the Stage 2 season, a little bit of the beginning of the playoffs as well. KRU.
What's Mazzino doing on the minimap there?
Mazzino's hanging out in the back of B site right now. I'm not sure why he's not facing the correct way.
He's waiting for the dart, maybe?
Yeah, he's looking for a lineup, perhaps. Some prep work being done, and we've seen Kesnet do this before. Tap the spike and get out. Didn't work last time around. And I mean, you can hear the Neon running away.
But there was enough to draw out utility. Aspas used his stun. And I think there was a little bit more there. The threat, you have to respect the threat, even if he does slip back out.
Yeah, this time around as well, it was an instant walk into that A main to punish King.
Found my
Last
wire.
time they did this exact strat, there was too much hesitation from the A players on the extremity.
Again, a tap to draw utility out. But now Aspas filling in on the space. He's got his ult. He's got to kill.
Spike
Calm
down
investing
A.
in with it. A brutal duo that they're going to have to navigate around, but somehow the road has been cleared. MTA getting a couple here, giving the numbers advantage to KRU, but Zeno instantly snatching it back. Now two's apiece with the spike not quite in hand yet. Mazzino single-handedly clawing this thing back as LEV get their second.
Yeah, he played that to near perfection. Sitting on that default box, taking pop shots left and right, isolating targets. He's so good on this map. He's so good on the breach. And that's why this was a great start to the round from KRU. But the retake flood was too much to ask for. Calm, he got a kill with that Hunter's Fury, and then the trade right here on a Shy. Great cleanup from him. That's 2 rounds in a row now for Leviathan, but that was a great start to the round from KRU.
And Aspas has the op. You mentioned it in the previous round. When would it come online? You know how good he is with it. Calm holding his early line. Whoa, that's such a dangerous jump. And the thing is, but the thing is, they have that smoke they can tuck into. If it's not for spam, they're gonna get out of there every time.
True. No space gathered in actual B site from the side of KRU. That neon wall was infested. A couple shock darts as well.
But I mean, I love how KRU are playing this, because think about how many times have they made a ton of noise B and then they go explore different areas of the map. This time they freeze. They've stayed. And so look at the response from Leviathan. They're so concerned about the middle of the map now. Aspas has been holding that with the op. Now Tex has joined him. They're both so concerned with that because that's how KRU's conditioned things. The thing is, I'm afraid they might be missing their timing.
Yeah, there's gonna be 4 members to face them right here, and even an operator. But I don't think any set utility will hit Aspas in this little corner. He might be able to snag a kill here for free, maybe slide out if he needs. Oh, great drone.
Dashing away, but the second hit of the stun might be what punishes. It is! Kesnet chasing him down, but Mazzino on the swing. The timing is so nice. The spike is now on the ground. Calm is there with him, but Kesnet pushing the pace,
I know exactly where.
forcing them off the site. And now ult's invested with 13 seconds left. He gets the spike down. No ult to speak of here on either side. Shy tugging as best as he can, getting his 1 kill. Calm! What a response, getting him down to 1. Can Tex win the duel out against Kesnet, who's been so hot these last couple of rounds? Every single bullet is a threat. Every single shot is missed. It seems like nothing is connecting, and Tex wins the war of attrition.
What an animal! The constant back and forth, the pre-firing, and he saves the operator on top of it. That was insane from Tex. What an outplay in the 1v1.
Seconds left.
And you take a look at it one more time again. Kesnet did such a good job of pushing the pace back side, of dealing as much damage as he could, of forcing
Enemy
LEV into uncomfortable positions, but that right there was the difference maker. And then obviously Calm getting his 3 to even get him into a 1v1 like that.
Yeah, that was filthy. Man, Tex in these 1v1s, he looks so good. He's so confident in his decision-making in those specific scenarios.
It's a different look here from KRU. Way more noisy, if you will, towards A.
And another key difference here is last time around, it was Kesnet still too far ahead, peeking these corners against the operator. You remember him getting picked off an elbow.
Yeah.
They wait this time. He waits for extra utility.
Do they have
Or
anything?
backup.
Do they have anything to push him off this line, though?
I mean, this is a line that Aspas hit a crazy clip from.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a flash or a smoke or something of the sort, but
Maybe a stun. Remember last time, Kesnet went a little too early when that stun came out. This time around, he should wait. There it is, he waits for it.
and the smoke too.
But Aspas is still disrespecting this. He wants to go for it.
Of course he does. I mean, why not? Meltzer still backside. The op shot rattles off, doesn't connect, but Kesnet does.
A.
They've got to cut their losses. They can't fight this anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, it's just so hard to actually hit that shot
Spike planted.
and confidently get out without a dash. They're gonna go for this though, Doug. It's a 2v4.
Opting to go for the rifle. Can they convert this? I mean, this would be a miracle if they can pull this off. but it doesn't seem like they're fully invested into it either. I don't know if it's just a threat or what it is, but with every step they take closer, it seems like they're keen on taking one back, and they might not know Shy's here, man. This sucker punch is going to be devastating. Forget about Shy. It's MTA with 4.
Unreal right now from KRU. Not giving anything on that post plant. What kind of discipline are we witnessing? It's like the duality of this team of KRU. 2 days ago, they're completely obliterated. They're just not connecting at all. Now they are that hive mind that I speak about, and when they are like this, the level of play that they are able to achieve is insane.
I'm out of here.
This is the team that went 5-0, what we're witnessing right now in stage 1. And yeah, MTA wasn't a part of that, but now that he's accustomed to the roster and he's had more reps, he's been getting better and better.
Go, go, go.
Really nicely handled by Shy there. That one way that the Omen drops can be devastating from the defensive side, but he drops the cage to counter it. Nicely done, and then instantly rotates back towards A. They've found some success here before. Com's gonna be off the play. It's just one rifle too in the hands of Aspas.
Yeah, I think they sniffed out that there's way too many members of Leviathan on this A side, so they're gonna backtrack now. But Com, he has them contained. This is something we keep seeing from the side of KRU. They'll take space really aggressively at A site or in B main, and then freeze the round and do a rehit.
This is a very delicate dance, though. They've sent 3 back off of A to check mid while Com is filling in behind it. He's gonna have the trip, keeping him back. Instantly spotted. The fault line turns around. Forget about the site. They're just gonna deal with Com.
What was that from Heat? 180 fault line. Forget the site. Let me help my teammate out.
Shocking.
KRU committing to getting the spike down, reasonably so. Aspas still has that rifle in hand. But there's no real way to get back into the site here. King's already been dropped. Oh, smooth little 2K for Heat there to clean things up as KRU gets 8.
Oh my God. What are we witnessing
Last
right
round
now?
in the half.
I'm out of here.
That round from Heat. The flick fault line.
Gotta go.
I mean, I know aim labs helps you out with your aim, but I didn't realize it helped with utility as well. Oh,
Yeah, there was that turnaround that you mentioned. As soon as the trip gets caught, an instant response. Covering MTA, who was mid-ult when that swing came through.
and even the fight together in spawn, you know, 3-4 members all geared up, aiming there with a flash from Heat as well. Now, I said in the past, Heat has really struggled playing against this Leviathan roster, but today, he's making a statement.
Com getting a little bit of info to try to invest the ult, but doesn't connect on much. And so KRU narrowly avoiding disaster there. King on the swing, though, getting the best of Heat, the hero from the previous round.
Yeah, nice double swing. Too many targets for Heat to actually acquire, but wow. I mean, you talked about disrespecting the one-way. It can be so damaging to you.
Aspas getting his one with the Guardian, dashing back away. Mazzino there to help. Meanwhile, Melser creeping his way forward. Little leg spotted. They understand Com is there, and it's not without damage dealt. 8 HP now for the controller.
That'll have Com and Tex grouping up on the actual B site. They're going to be met by 3 players here.
KRU just invested the paranoia into spawn, thinking that's where the pressure was going to be coming from. So now they don't have that to get out onto B. And if they think they can continue to push into spawn, you're going to have to deal with Aspas, who's already been dealt with. But then Mazzino, too. Both crumble. I mean, is this a ridiculous round out from KRU? This was a 2v4.
They found my wire.
And again, Melser with 8 HP. They've snatched this thing back. Unbelievable from KRU. Com with so much left to do, but again, remember, Melser weak. Can he pull this off? Only finds his one. Melser gets 3 as KRU get 9.
He was sitting so low all around, but he got so many kills, sitting at what, 8 HP? The kill on the spawn, and the start was great from LEV. But the disconnect on the actual site, even Tex getting that kill in the market, that was great.
Yeah, I think King on the really wide swing there was very costly. But then, yeah, you're right. I mean, even with that in mind, that was a 2v4. They had them fully corralled, fully controlled. and fully convinced, Haddle's fully convinced that the round was going to go their way, but again, heroics from KRU, a 9-3 half and a quick break. We'll see you guys soon. Serious fits for LEV. I mean, they haven't been able to solve them since map 1.
Yeah, and they're doing the little things right. That's the biggest thing is KRU in their post plans. I think they went 8 and 9 on that attacking half. Not I think, they did go 8 and 9. And on the last map of Haven, they went 6 and 9 on their retakes. If they use that recipe right here and play retake a lot on this map, B or A, doesn't matter. We've seen how good they look on it.
Shot to clear any trips that might be there, but they waltz into KRU again. And so this seems like it's going to be another pistol that they can snatch back. It's just Tex and Mazzino that are left. The perfection that they've been able to execute on this is ridiculous from Mazzino. 3 on the round, again the frenzy. And Melser in a 1v2. But look at the health bars on the 2 remaining members of LEV. I mean, what, 38 HP amongst both? This is going to be so difficult to deal with. 20 seconds before Melser gets another smoke up. He's got the paranoia. Finally, LEV get a pistol.
But at what cost? No, I'm kidding. That was insane from Mazzino on site with the frenzy. That was ridiculous. We saw that happen on Icebox, but what happened? KRU clutched it out this time around. No room to clutch. Tex insta-ing, even though they were lined up. It's a real world in which Melser, he gets that collat kill, and it's another pistol around the way of KRU. So now, Leviathan, they have a chance to climb back into this game, lower that lead that KRU have accumulated, and just start building some of this momentum back by doing things right.
Mazzino feels like one of the few players that we see run a frenzy and a pistol. And I mean, when he's doing things like that, it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah, and on Breach of all characters as well, you see a lot of Breaches usually go for full utility in a classic.
Yeah. But it seems to work. A gun advantage here for LEV, resulting in a kill already with the way of the attack. Melser gone, so now Snoat, no smokes to play around for the defense. As Mazzino commits to getting the spike down, Kesna tries to find a really good timing on Aspas. It's Shy who gets a kill, but again, the timing is great. Unfortunately for them, though, that's great here. It's either going to get traded out, LEV get their 5th, now KRU with weapons.
Yeah, good post plant from Leviathan. They're able to build up to that Breach ultimate Mazzino. Back-to-back rounds. And that's a crazy ultimate to have going into this bonus round. If you can cook up a nice strat here and steal this one away, you win the bonus, all of a sudden your economy's insane. I mean, you're talking about a 9-7 already.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be willing. I wonder if they're going to be willing to invest around it to really shore that up, because you're right. When you've got it round 3 and you want to use it, it's such a strong tool.
They take this elbow control with no utility invested at all, no fault line, no anything. Maybe having a hard read on what the setup is of KRU from the start.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, that's so risky, I feel like, but you must be confident that KRU are a team that doesn't like to fight that too much. Really aggressive play from Melser and B main. Usually we see Omens do this at the A main, and then they TP out. Oh.
He's got 2 seconds left to have that smoke online, so now it's up, but
cover going out.
This is all to delay. I really like what Melser's doing here. He's making Leviathan have to invest more sets of utility to clear out all this space. I mean, had this drone been used to hit the actual site, who knows how the round goes.
Yeah, he was playing it on a knife's edge, though. Manages to stay alive. And now LEV decide to swing all the way back towards A, where this round started.
There's a lot of unique trips being put down here from Shy. They're both on like that front default box, nothing in the chokes. So this is all to try to catch Aspas out, or maybe even King on his TP on a default box.
30 seconds
They're
left.
able to get that, pop that cage, get a free kill onto Aspas. That could be a great opening into the retake for them.
It's a really nice setup here. You're absolutely right. I like what Shy's doing. Now the second cage pop, the cam's still up. Now finally cleared. And there's the ult that we were talking about. With 13 seconds left, they decide to invest it.
10 seconds left.
They're gonna get the spike down. Can KRU pounce back? This is a dangerous game you're playing. This is really aggressive. The flash on the other side. He's right next to him. Kesnick getting 2. Mazzino takes a step back, as does the rest of LEV. Can they weather this? Can they keep them back? Ham is the only one playing on the side as the smoke goes up. Mazzino goes down. The spam through from Melser. This is so decisive. Forget about a bonus. In the face of the Rolling Thunder, KRU stand.
The timing on the retake, complete disruption, like you stated. I mean, we were on Osbos's POV the whole time. He was clearly holding a little off angle there, looking at the ground to line up that stun. But Kesnet was too quick to it. Look at this. Pairing that up with the flash timing.
One enemy remaining.
And it's what you said. They're so much more decisive. They're not hesitating at all. That's what's making them find these windows of opportunity to punish Leviathan in these post plants. And this crew team has been such a pleasure to watch this series. It's just night and day from what we saw first time around.
So Lev had a chance to do something there to win that bonus, unable to convert. And now they're trying to get really pacey here towards B. A lot of damage onto Melser, has to TP back, but they should be comfortable in taking this space now, or at least threatening that they've taken it, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they paid it out. A stun as well from Kesnet. So they're aware that Neon Omen are towards that B side. Same thing with Sova. That dart got so much info. Tex is acting like he's the solo lurker here. He's going to meet Shy in a 1v1.
But there's a lot more behind this.
And it's going to be explosive if Shy drops early here.
They've got to know at this point. They've got to understand that it was not just Tex. The paranoia is out. Shy's still in a really good spot, though. He's buying his time as best as he can, but now falls at the hands of Tex. Heat on the swing, not able to connect. 4 fall the way of Crew. Now, what does Melser do in this? They don't even commit to getting the spike down. They decide to hand it over to Calm, who's now going to have his ult online into the next.
Spike
Yeah,
planted.
great macro play right now from Lev. And that was that firing squad just coming out of elbow and the drone timing on the split. That was awesome from Leviathan. Melser, he has to save this rifle going into the next.
Yeah.
Kesnet sitting at $50.
Yeah, 1000%. No real choice but to save. So Lev will get to 6, and again, Calm's going to have his ult online. And a couple other members from the attack that are close.
Shadows traveling.
I really like how Lev have played out some of these defaults at the beginning of the round, Stray.
Yeah, that was a sick one. Taking all control of B main, denying complete info, keeping 2-3 members there, and then acting like it's only Tex that's creeping up into elbow, but it's what you said. So much more following up behind it. There was no place to really hide on site because of that drone from Calm coming through lane.
And even if it's just like half a second of hesitation of, hey, we saw Tex, just that half a second of, oh, is there going to be more? That's all the time they need.
Yeah.
When you've got all 5 there, a hesitation is death.
I know, and he almost got caught out too, just trying to escape. Yeah. Remember, he went away from that with like 30 HP. So Leviathan are still in this one. Doing a lot of damage to the economy of Crew, and now maybe putting themselves in a spot where they can shorten the gap. String a couple more rounds together. There's 2 Guardians right now for the side of Crew, sitting on Melser and Shy. Very quiet approach across the map right now.
Yeah, we saw the Cam spotting Melser at the beginning of the round, grabbing that orb. And so, it's, I mean, reasonably, you understand Tex playing a little bit more carefully here, has a trip to cover him. But Lev haven't really decided where they want to go on this yet.
Yeah, and a bit of a lurk smoke here as well for Leviathan, just splitting up the site.
Also, I love that Cam from Shy. Unfortunately caught by the drone, but you have to swing out so far if you want to try to clear that out. And that's often where you get punished.
Yeah, this time they don't get punished at all. Still so slow, so much doubt in the minds of Crew right now. They do have the A line though. That allows for Kesnet to kind of lean towards this top mid area. He might be able to crunch these players in market.
This feels like a split out towards B, but the problem is they're going to have to deal with all of Shy's utility, and there's nothing that's going to be covering the market crunch, like you said. The smoke comes out towards main, but it's already too late. Mazzino's going to get the best of NTA. They've invested the Hunter's Fury as well. Shy buying his time. A perfect swing. Heat's there with him. And now with 13 seconds left, Calm can't get into the site. It seemed like they had everything they wanted onto B, but a beautiful response from Crew.
It was a perfect swing, but it was more so a perfect setup from the side of Crew. Too many crossfires and delay on the actual site. That's all because Shy, he used his utility so far back. The shock darts didn't really get value from the side of Leviathan. Mazzino, he had to invest the breach, seize, towards the backside to break that trip, but nobody was able to clear it. And that fast flank timing, I mean, you saw everybody from the side of LEV try to turn to deal with that.
And it took everyone, and even then, that wasn't quite enough. And so KRU punched back, a little bit of a tit for tat these last couple of rounds.
But if it keeps going back and forth like this, it's in KRU's favor because of that 9-3 half they had.
Yeah, that math doesn't add up. Uh-oh, he's spotted. Manages to TP away, but not for long.
Yeah, or so we thought.
Yeah, Mazzino chases him down.
That's a big first blood from the Breach player.
And then again, this is where LEV thrive. They get a pick or they make a little bit of noise, and then what? Nothing. And so the defense is completely starved of any information.
It's just so crazy. KRU did the same game plan yesterday against 100 Thieves. When they're down 4v5, they just commit to their setup. And we saw them. That's how they basically closed out that Ascent map. There was a pick in B main, and there was 4 players on A. This time it's 3 players at A. Kesnet gets the first. KRU gets the follow-up.
What in the world did KRU just do to LEV? Forget about being down in numbers.
You don't expect it, Doug. You get a pick at B, you expect the defense to compensate, maybe lean at least 1 player over. You run into only 2. Why is there 3 members of KRU fighting A that far up? There's a gap in top mid. There's a solo player on B. But KRU, they found big success in these mid-round gambles when they're down numbers. They could feel it, they know. It was a hard read.
They gambled, you called it, they gambled. And the gamble pays off. So LEV now decide to call a timeout in the
place.
KRU went from winning 6 rounds the last time these two teams played
Total.
to now being 1 round away from having a 2-1 lead. I mean, what a subversion of expectations. What an entire turning of the tide.
Yeah. And just to give the viewers out there a stat, KRU are 5 out of 8.
I'm going to hold you on the stat. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The Rolling Thunder's out, and they're going to try to flood in behind it, but Meltzer trying to keep them back, not able to do so. Mazzino on the swing and on the punish. Now the smoke backside, but it's been fully disrespected by the defense. It does not matter. Leviathan mow over KRU. And that was on a lighter buy. They invest Aspas' ult. They had stingers. They did everything. And that was what it took. Whew. Now they're going to try to hunt Kesnet down, get the op out of his hands. And that's risky. They don't have very much as far as guns go.
Yeah, they need to be very careful right now. And I think that's why you see now the little cut. They can't afford to lose anything more because their economy is not looking too hot whatsoever. But that was a very convincing round win there. This time around, after getting that first blood, that punish, they just decide to fully commit into it. No second guessing themselves, no going back.
Well, and that's where, I think that's where you see a lot of the success of an attack side that likes to freeze and cut noise and slow things down. Is you're almost, in a lot of ways, you're kind of lulled into like a sense of confidence and a sense of security.
Safety, yeah.
Where you go, okay, they made some noise, now they're gonna freeze, right? And then all of a sudden you just get punched in the mouth.
Go, go, go.
The problem is that works really into your hand when you're in the lead. Now, having to do that in a comeback standpoint, I mean, it's risky. It's some risky business you're playing with here. That being said, Leviathan do understand that KRU have an operator on the field. And Melzer right now, I don't know what gun he's going to get, or if he's just going to sit on a classic. I guess he's just... Oh, he's got a Spectre. Okay, somebody bought him up last second.
He's got a little bit of a buffer, too. You don't have to invest a ton. See LEV trying to clear that door.
Melzer has been playing front B, even with that punish in the last couple of times. He's still doing it. Yeah, that's complete and utter confidence from the lad. This time he's backing up a little bit.
Shy is the only one who's currently on site, but Kesnet is quick on the rotate, and he's got the op. Remember the punish that we saw 2 days ago of Aspas onto Kesnet in this exact line.
Calm does have drone though. Not used! He exposes his body to do a dart! And he gets picked because of it, and now Shy! He has free reign on the site, Doug!
Aspas down, the ult used from Kesnet, it's just Hex and Mazzino left. That has been enough in the past, but can it be enough here? Look at Tex. He's managed to avoid the Rolling Thunder, but stays alive for now. The paranoia out. It's going to be a Tex by himself, and he will fall to Kesnet. The rest of crew stand strong on Sunset. At one point, and he was like 6 and 16.
Yeah.
He had a rough map.
And something I've been keeping an eye out this entire time has been the difference in operator kills in this series so far. Last time around, Aspas had 16 op kills, Doug. 16. This series, he has 2.
That's a stark difference. Crew on the attack side. If you are just joining us for the first time and you're watching Abyss for the first time, yeah, the minimap's upside down. We're working on it.
All good.
This cam is so cheeky. I mean, you have to commit really far up if you want to try to clear it out because it's behind the box.
Yeah, it gives you so much info of all of mid.
And so this is where I think the walls are so good, is it denies so much of this early mid space. That's often an area of the map that has been kind of ignored as teams figure out how to play around the map.
Yeah, and look at how annoying this is as well with that Omen one-way on top of it. I mean, if Mazzino really wants to, he can invest this wall, delay further. Camera's not flicked yet.
But they hear it. They've got to know it's there.
Right there.
Oh, this could be disaster. Couple of shots not landing from either side, and Melster's the one who falls at the end. They've gotten in through spawn. They're going to try to get out towards B, but you've got reinforcements. You've got help coming from the defensive side very quickly. If you want to win another pistol, it's got to be soon. Shy's left alone. A 1v3 now. Down to 2. Half of the spike is now being committed. He has a trip. He has a cage.
Planted the spike.
And he's got a ghost. With a cam to make sure nobody's pushed him yet.
Triggered.
And the dart lighting him up for just a moment. Position given away. Location betrayed. Now how does Shy navigate this? A sheriff in the hands of Aspas and Calm. I forget about it. It's just Calm now. One tap. It's all it took. But Calm responds with a tap of his own. Lev, get the pistol. The second of the series.
And it's coming down to the wire on top of it. The mechanics are showing from the side of crew. Shy, he had a good chance to win that 1v2, but Calm, he was too sharp to it. My goodness, what a start to the round. What an interesting strat from the side of crew to push up mid like this. And wow, that right click RNG was not in Melger's favor whatsoever, bro.
Low-key, the left click from the ghost was not either.
Yeah, but the ghost has 15 bullets for a reason. That's why.
Yeah, just like me out here, man. That's crazy. 2 outlaws in the hands of Lev. Then a couple of bulldogs and a stinger for Tex. Meanwhile, for crew, this is not a nothing buy. They have 3 sheriffs here.
Right here.
Early shock dart to try to get some chip damage onto a main. Doesn't connect, and a free orb is gathered. Onto MTA, I believe. So he's slowly building up to that Hunter's Fury. I mean, if they commit to this B site, there's an outlaw matching U site for utility. This is going to be very, very hard to break through. Even middle, all of mid is controlled by Aspas right now, and he's confidently going to take those angles. King gets thwarted off the line.
My camera is destroyed.
Cam has been cleared too, and that's a big one. You've got to understand where the hit's coming from now. I'm really surprised that Lever not sending everyone back B, given what they've seen. I guess it's just a matter of time. Tex perhaps overstaying his welcome, but the switch out onto the Classic is able to get him a couple more kills. The paranoia timing is gorgeous, and the hold from Lev is even better.
Good supporting utility, good supporting cast for the side of Tex. We were a little bit wary because the rotations hadn't come through yet, but the delay there from the Cypher utility and all the smokes that were coming through, paranoia from King as well, it bought more than enough time for these members of Leviathan to get in there and flood and help out Tex.
He just saw a foot.
Spike down.
Hey, he needs more scoped weapons in his hands. He's too disgusting with them. Now going into this bonus, there's 2 outlaws on the field, and there's 2 players with light armor on the side of crew. One of them being the main duelist of Kesnet. He needs to be careful now and actually have to wait for utility to go in, because if he gets picked off early by one of those big cannons, it's over. As I say that, Lev, King, he's pushing all the way behind. He doesn't get the kill though, Doug.
Look at that harbor wall mid. He applies so much pressure and then gets right back out. You're right, he doesn't get the kill, but and you can feel that crawling up your neck. And so now crew, so concerned, so paranoid about what's behind them, still have to try to divide their attention and lean in towards B. Kesnet trying to keep him back. And the counterpunch from King could be the decisive measure. Now remember here, this is a bonus. It's a weapon upgraded for Tex now. Another Bulldog in hand. And the ult invested round 3. As things slow down. Oh, Heat.
No way.
He's gonna find the timing, isn't he? Oh, he does. Tex dead. And now flashed by a little bit more time on top of the paranoia, though. What does Mazzino have? He's got a cascade he can play around. Where does he invest it? They're not playing off site here. They're playing this really aggressively. Refusing to relent on the space, trying to dig their heels in. With the help over the top, Mazzino's gotten it really far back. Shy can't settle the shots. A 1v2. He's been electric for KRU. Can he do it again? One found. Is Mazzino going to stick it the whole way? He's got the cove on the other side. The bluff has been called. LEV walk out on top.
Wow. The call to do what Mazzino just did. He heard the footsteps right next to him. A lot of players get off in that moment. This was that early aggression. I don't know how MTA lives in that spot, but it didn't matter because King makes up for it coming back here. But yeah, it's all because of that harbor wall in mid. That's so unique. That's so cool. What a... What an insane approach, I was going to say.
Well, I think the kicker, too, is I don't believe KRU saw that wall.
No, they didn't at all.
So there's a real good chance we see it again, but this time, not concerned about antics with the wall. They're getting very aggressive out towards A, splitting through the middle of the map with Stingers and one Vandal in the hands of Shy. They invest the Reckoning. Aspas teeing off with the op. That's another onto your count. And every single one of them lit up. The Wisps giving position away. Numbers the way of the defense.
Sheesh.
And now Melser left standing by himself.
Cover going out.
A smoke to cover one area, but what do you do with the other 3, the other 4 that potentially contain threat?
Spike planted.
Perilous positions, the paranoia out, and the walls closing in. Melser falls as Aspas gets 3, and that's another round for LEV.
Cool idea from the side of KRU. Trying to go mid to be fast on that catwalk, or mid to A, apologize, fast on that catwalk, and man, that harbor, we're seeing the benefits of running something like this. That on-the-fly wall was enough to split up that attacking approach, make it awkward, allow for Aspas to get these picks and get out of dodge. It was the supporting cast that was helping Aspas out after he would take those shots and have to leave the angle that I was impressed by.
I killed more than last map.
Early timeout called here from Adam as you see all smiles and all.
It's decisive.
Note here again.
Planted. Yeah, go ahead.
A note here again, the op in the hands of Aspas. As you were mentioning, I want to call back to what you were saying a couple of rounds ago because that does seem like a pretty big win condition. Where are you going?
What a sick rollout.
An aggressive line taken already. There's no way. You're expecting this. The cam might give it away. No, it's been cleared instantly. He has no idea. He legged him though. Shy dances with death and somehow stays alive. Now they're seeing this harbor wall mid too. Just now getting cleared out, but they have an idea of what's waiting on the other side. Melser's taken so much space. You've got the trip to provide a little bit of safety. Nothing really to follow up behind it though.
And he hears all these footsteps. He knows there's so many players lean towards B. Surely this is a call back all the way to A site. You have all the info in the world that 2 players rotated into that B site. There's no way they face check this still.
They might try. The knife is out, the harbor wall's up, and Kesnit is in. I mean, a relentless approach, I guess, but it's just not working out in their favor, though. The 1-for-1 might be enough. They're fully committing onto this. The spike is just now getting its way out onto site, and there's really nobody else there. The defense has held the line. Stalwart in their approach. Shots not landing for the attack. Come hell or high water, they were gonna try to go B, and it did not work out.
Yeah, they just ran their head into a brick wall. Absolutely face smashed in. King, he was just finessing around the edge of that smoke, but he had a teammate with him the entire time, so it was just a crossfire. Multiple players, wow. Shot him right in the leg. But yeah, it was an overcommitment onto this B site from KRU. Melser, he heard everything. I'm so shocked they still committed fully.
Me too.
Water rising.
This is now, what, the 3rd different harbor wall we've seen mid? And oftentimes it's off of King taking space.
Lower. He usually doesn't push catwalk like this. He might find the timing on the Shy. Is he that crazy? Is he a madman, Doug? Shy saw him. doesn't matter.
Snaps from King are so clean. They try to increase the pace. They try to accelerate towards B. Paranoid is traded. Aspas has to dash back and then still lands a shot onto Melser. This feels a lot like what we saw the first 2 times these teams met. This feels a lot like what we saw on map 1. And I don't know where the breakdown comes, but it seems like it's arrived for KRU. Kesnit in a 1v4. How much more can he do? A Guardian in hand. The op-trained King on the flank. No shot for Kesnit. None at all. 6-0 the way of LEV.
King has pushed down mid relentlessly. This time finding value onto Shy. Now, KRU, they have to be worried about this every single round in the future when they see a harbor wall come out or even if they just hear it.
Yeah, that quick scope from Aspas was filth.
Yeah, just straight out of the paranoia. His teammate basically calls that the Omen TP'd up top. Reactionary quick scope from him. He's so good with the operator. He makes it so oppressive to play against.
Blades for Kesnit. And the need for a spark. 2 and 6 from the duelist currently. And it's the same harbor wall. I mean, the denial of space mid has just been so good to watch.
We had 2 players of KRU dialed in on that for good reason.
Cage triggered.
Aspas holding his own little off angle into A main. And it's a re-clear of mid right now from the side of KRU. No one to be met here.
And this is part of the effect of just putting up that harbor wall to begin with. You have to re-clear this.
They do a bit of a half re-clear. They don't go all the way up to clear out library or break that trip.
But look at where King is right now. I mean, he's essentially in their spawn. And so he's going to get a fast timing back behind them, regardless of where they commit.
So insane how he just creeps up into all these spots.
He's just finding the tiniest of gaps and exploiting them, making them massive wounds. But KRU turning towards A. The paranoia is out. Aspas has already gotten the best of Shy. Maybe a little bit too cheeky there. On a second swing, a second approach. Oh no. Well, there he goes.
He's off the map, ladies and gentlemen.
Meanwhile,
Wait, he gets a kill!
How? Oh, we've got to see that back. What? Either way, a 2v3. Melser committing to the ult. King is dead.
Where's Kesnit?
Mazzino's behind. He's still falling somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Is he
but he's
still falling?
Yeah, he's still going down. Finally, meeting his death. Mazzino's going to be on the defuse. He's gotten it to half the mollies in his lap. He has to get the space back up on a swing. How much more can he find? He tugs behind the cascade. You've got to challenge him. He gets it down to 1. Not able to control the second. KRU are on the board. I've got to see what Kesnit did. I don't understand.
That was so ridiculous, Doug.
Oh, he's still laughing. It's got to be good.
I mean, great entry. Great dart from MTA.
What?
How does he get this? No shot!
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you told me that you nerded out in a custom game, and it takes, what, 30, 40 seconds for Jet to fall off the map if you float all the way down?
Yeah, it's like 33 seconds. It takes forever. I mean, it's a third of the round. And he plays his time to perfection, I guess.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Unfortunately for KRU, it's the only success that they've had.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them as well, Aspas has another operator pick.
And so the round slows down for just a moment. Just long enough for Aspas to reposition and strike fear into KRU once more.
We were so hyped over what happened with KRU. We forgot that LEV are still sitting at 6-1 with Aspas having an operator to his name. That economy is so deep. It was getting slowly withered down, but now a new chance to build it up once more. And Mazzino, he's showing a lot of disrespect.
MTA maybe contacts his way out, but Mazzino's holding the line.
Whoa.
He's weak, though.
What good awareness from Mazzino to just crouch right there.
Yeah.
So aware of the only angle his little tiny head could be spotted from.
You're not alone. Cascade goes through. MTA choosing not to take this fight.
Yeah, maybe just secure this Hunter's Fury, bring that rifle into the next round. Or not. Worried about a flank right now, and I mean, rightfully so. It's 4v1. Leviathan are feeling it. Surprised he doesn't grab that orb though. But it's okay.
10
Maybe he'll grab
seconds
it in the
left.
next round. A little bit of an AD fault there. Drop the gun to Kesnet. Use your Sova utility to set him up.
I mean, again, the maps that KRU have been able to, or excuse me, that LEV have been able to win in these last couple of matchups, we've had this score, I think, every time.
Yeah, it's
been
actually reminiscent of like the first series, the first map even.
Exactly. It's a 6-1. It's a 7-1. It's something dominant like that. Wait, did he do it again? Oh, this is from...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's still so insane.
Taking somebody with him, huh? Oh, he even updrafted. He lasted longer. That's insane.
Ridiculous.
But again, very reminiscent of what we've seen the last couple of times. Whenever we see this score, it's often with the timeout too. I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing one, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is an interesting way that KRU are countering, or at least trying to counter this Harbor util by dropping a dart mid on the other side of the wall to make sure nobody's pushing. So we're starting to see these little micro adjustments, this rock, paper, scissors of how they try to figure out and counter one another.
And yeah, it may deny the push into mid, but it's too scary to put a body to go past that Harbor wall. You're too worried. And if Aspas connects on this, this will be his 6th first kill.
Kesnet's a little bit deeper on this angle. If he was playing it tight, it'd be right between his eyes, but...
Oh, they know something's up. Good drone to get Aspas off the line.
Risky too. Ooh. And now they understand there's a little bit more here. The Paranoia is going to push Tex off the angle as Aspas tries to re-peek, but between cages and smokes, nothing lands. And now Kesnet's the one who's gotten really aggressive. They've gotten so much control on the site. They've got members up in heaven on both sides. But Aspas with Aspas with blades. MTA, the only one with the rifle. But they've gotten this far. And again, the Reckoning, giving everything away. No position is safe. He's got to know. MTA falls. And that was the rifle. It's just Sheriffs now. The one benefit is they do have the spike down that one way. Fully disrespected.
One enemy remaining.
Aspas has his 4. Trying to hunt down for the ace. The last blade will not connect. But Com's left alone in a 1v1. This is very winnable for Shy, and he connects. The Red Bull clutch for KRU.
Shy, he lost the first 2 1v1s he had. This time around, he connects. He secures it to give KRU the 2nd round win they have of this half. But what was that from Aspas? Making something out of absolutely nothing.
I mean, it wasn't
5
enough.
HP. It wasn't
Enough of a something, though. I think that's the big takeaway here, is it was off of the heroics. I mean, the fact that they got into what it was, a 3v3 or a 3v5 to begin with. There was just such a big advantage for KRU that LEV weren't able to erase.
That's a big round win for KRU as well.
Huge.
Being only their 2nd in this series. Now Kesnet, he picks up that operator from somebody in the previous round. I believe it was Shy who saved that for him. So now it's a different approach. Are Leviathan aware that there's an operator on the field? By the looks of these walkdowns in mid and jump spotting, I feel like they might.
Remember, the big stick in the hands of the defense. That's one holding the line here. If this spike continues to lean that way, there's a chance at this. Surely you flash through this. You don't just tank this, right? Meanwhile, the middle of the map is denied once more. King is so far up. There's a trip to keep him back now, and Shy's aware of it. That dart's gonna get a lot of info.
3-player scan in A main. It's gonna be an A commit here with KO ultimate.
You're right, but the smoke is already ahead of it. I don't think they can make their way out of the smoke. I think they're stuck on the other side. They're gonna have to flood out through this if they want to take a shot. That's exactly what they do. MTA on the bold swing as Melser continues to push. But the op tagging of Heat not able to find safe passage out from the site. The spike committed. Melser on the site by himself. And things come to a screeching halt. With Dash procced, the line is taken. Melser is the trap, though. Keep an eye on him. What do they have to clear him? Can they do anything to clear him? Do they even know he's there? I don't think they do. Tex, a sucker punch to get rid of the controller, but now what? They've got to continue to push this pace. Aspas on the tap, you think it's somebody else holding the line, not even able to get it to half. Oh, no, another. King plummets to his death as KRU get another round.
The retake was looking fruitful for Leviathan. The one-way isolating everybody behind it in A main. They really could have honestly gotten half at least on that spike, held the one-way together. But this map, it could be so tricky. You could fall off of it. The only map like it in this game. And we've seen it take so many souls. That's that sucker punch you were talking about. Yeah, that one-way was great. I don't know if he was trying to commit a TP onto that or just trying to jump fully past it, maybe. Just hasn't played the map long enough to know that it's a hard jump to make. A lot of it is what you said. You have to just react on the fly or just stick to your game plan. And if your game plan's not working like it was for KRU, keep in mind they were down 7-1. You gotta make those changes, and it's cool to see so.
Do they invest the dart again? Yeah, but this time instantly cleared out. And a shock.
Some big damage on a Melzer with that one as well. They're so worried about mid, they have to. King, he's been so devastating on that area of the map. But this attack operator KRU, it looks really good for them. It looked really good for them against C9 as well. It kind of makes the defense play a little bit more scared, a little bit more into spots where once your entire team kind of walks up into it, you can explode onto them. And this back right little double box has been a big point of success for the defending team at B. No pick gathered there, but info that there is a stinger on the B site.
There's got to be a smoke that's headed towards mid right now.
Yeah.
If they continue to try to creep up, there's the smoke. The thing is, there's a trip on the other side. Look at Mazino's position here. If this is what they try to hit on, this could be a problem.
Oh.
And there's the ult. This is perfect. Heat falls, and they still haven't gotten very far. You still have King here. You still have Mazino who's here.
30 seconds left.
And King, he's stuck in a corner with a stinger. This is exactly what he wants. This gun is so good close range, especially against players that are tagged up.
The spike on the ground, the second swing comes through. It's traded, yes, but Mazino stands on top, and the spike is well out of reach now.
It's a save. You have to. No time, the spike is
10
gone.
seconds left.
These mid to Bs, it's too hard. There's too many nooks and crannies around this map that you can hide under. So many angles that you have to face check and clear. Utility just doesn't do it here.
And so Lev will get to 8. You see KRU, again, trying to adjust on the fly, trying to make these adaptations.
Last
like,
round
as you
before
mentioned,
the
trying to
switch.
take up mid. They've been trying to use the dart to control that area of the map, but this trap setup was so good.
Yeah, that Hunter's Fury was near perfect.
And again, it was a Hunter's Fury off of the trip. That's what was the cue to go.
That alleyway, that connector onto that B site, it's so small. Hunter's Fury gets the entire pathway.
Still an op in the hands of Kesnet. Currently sitting at 5 and 9. You're mentioning how it was good against 5-9. It feels like he hasn't had a ton of impact this map.
Yeah, he wasn't able to make use of it in that last round. He whiffed that shot onto King, who did give him an opportunity. For Aspas here, he should have an idea that MTA likes to walk up here and drone, so he should back off here. Oh,
There it is. One found.
off early. That's a very risky play from Khan.
Punished for it, too.
Now Aspas might get punished because of that. He's just stuck back sight right now.
Well, King is deciding that there's plenty of misery to be had, and if you're going to have it, do it together because he's joined him. And King's actually the one who was able to get one with it, but Shy, a great take onto the site.
Yeah, just a flurry of kills going back and forth, but it was the trading game from Shy that came out on top. It's a 3v1. Text is being uploaded. Say hello to the camera.
Tex has been relatively quiet. See if he's able to pull this off. Kesnet's very weak here. I mean, 7 HP, but he's playing so far off. He's going to have to deal with these smokes that just got refreshed. You've got Shy on one side, and then you've got Melzer on the other. Forget about it. There's no way in. KRU avoid the 9-3 with a really nice round. Again, off of Shy.
Switching sides.
Yeah, and because of Shy, they find their own way into this game because it was looking dire, Doug. It was looking like every other series that we saw them have. The 7-1 score, bringing it to an 8-4. What a great comeback from KRU. Shy 13-8.
Yeah, 13-8. I'll take that any day of the week. Of times they fold when they're down big. This feels like the most competitive we've seen so far.
Yeah, and the fact that they were able to climb back and get a little bit of momentum in their favor, winning 4 out of the last, 6 rounds they played.
Walls up.
They put themselves in a really good spot, a spot that was looking absolutely dire regardless.
Mid-map focus for the attack.
Yeah, with that harbor wall, this time on the attacking side.
Ooh, and they clear the wall too, or they clear the door, excuse me.
And you're not expecting this many players behind this wall. I mean,
Right.
Kesnet might get caught out here.
A deeper smoke, a pushing of the utility, and now they understand there's a lot of foot on the other side, but Kesnet is waiting. So close. I thought he was going to strike, but he's buying his time as best as he can. Now on the prowl, now moving forward. And do they understand the threat that's behind them? Do they understand what's nipping at their heels? Kesnet now striking. Aspas dead. And yeah, the spike's going to be planted, but are they going to be able to hold it back?
It's a 3v3.
Kesnet with Sheriff in hand, continuing to push forward. The molly to clear out backside. Nothing found as all members of LEV tuck behind. Try to get away. A dangerous angle, and Kesnet decides to take a blade out at the most inopportune time.
Right there.
And now numbers the way of the attack. A tap of the spike, and it's just a bait. It's just a threat. Melser, a very bold approach, a very bold swing, and another pistol the way of LEV.
And that might be the most clean mid to B we've seen on this Abyss map in general, out of every region. And it's all because of that harbor wall. As soon as it starts coming down, you see the Omen smoke come out, and the timing on the split was perfect. Tex, he's the solo guy in B main, and he finds the perfect timing for the only spot that Shot can be playing in backside. A beautiful mid to B.
And so if I'm not mistaken, LEV have just won only their 3rd round since that Kesnet fadeaway blade. As he was falling down. I mean, momentum felt like it heavily shifted back that way. It was all LEV up until that point.
That's so insane.
That's also now 3 pistols in a row that LEV have won after all of this dialogue about how they are inconsistent in that, how they aren't able to get that monkey off their proverbial backs. Finally making something happen.
Better late than never.
Yeah, you're right about that.
A little bit of contact made here. Not too much of a commitment from the side of LEV. This is looking very familiar to Icebox when they just freeze after using an initial set of utility.
Dude, I'm loving these dynamic harbor walls, man. It's so difficult to navigate around. To be able to just on the fly decide what you want to deny makes it look effortless.
Denies so much info. Allows you to gather so much space. It allowed that drone to get all that info because it was blocked off. Nobody could pick it off early. Now it's all up to Mazzino wrapping around backside. I say that, but he opts to go for the plant. Does he know that there's players this close to him?
Surely. He's got to understand. Yeah, they had crosshairs trained on it, but the kill's not coming through quite yet. Now Mazzino striking 21 HP as he double dips, tries to triple, but it's Tex who gets the kills. Shy with a classic, Kesnet with a Marshall. At such a distance, at such a disadvantage. He's gonna try to make something happen here, but really not equipped for it. Didn't have the weaponry. Tex gets his 4th. LEV get to 10.
And he doesn't get to upgrade to a Bulldog that was backside because it falls off the map, but still, a good conversion onto this round. A great late flank in mid from Tex. Now all of a sudden, Crew have to be worried about that in the mid round. Is he going to be behind the harbor wall? Is there going to be the entire squad behind the harbor wall? This harbor pick puts so much doubt in the minds of Crew already, and we're only 2 rounds in. I mean, this entire map is their playground right now for Leviathan. I mean, King has a real good opportunity here to just keep finessing. I mean, look at this. Same dart, same wall as last time around.
And the same clearing of the door. And so now, if you're on the defensive side, all you can do is ask questions. Are they going to split us to A? Or are they going to split us B? There's nothing to really confirm either way. And this is gorgeous. They're just tucking behind the dart. They don't even bother clearing it. They've spotted one on the other side. They know that there's a little bit of threat towards A. And that seems to be enough to draw some of the rotations over.
Yeah, and so much info gathered from the side of Leviathan. They cleared out all of heaven with that drone. They're also able to cascade to get Calm out of this position. And then they get a 2v1 onto Kesnet.
Yeah, man, he was stuck. He had nowhere to go. And so off of all of that, all of the mid-threat, all of the presence A, they decide they're going to head back towards B with the Reckoning. There's nobody on the site, but if there was, I mean, they'd be lit up.
Bombarded. Yeah, absolutely bombarded. And yo, do you want to face check a harbor wall? I guess a flash will give you the confidence to do so.
That's what they're going to try, but there's so much
Spike planted.
structure on the sites where you can tuck behind. It's not even really a way to threat. And as soon as the harbor wall goes down, the cascade goes up. But there are so many members on the side. Also, keep a close eye on Shy's position. Tex
Enemy remains.
wisely punishes him. He's left alone now. A beautiful retake from KRU. Off of Shy's timing, off of his positioning.
Yeah, and that was looking dire, especially after that first blood on Kesnet. I feel like Kesnet definitely overstayed. I know he was stuck having to pick and choose his battle. Okay, am I going to commit to the top catwalk fight, or am I going to go for the peak in the lower? He ran into a blender of Osbos coming off the top ropes and somebody under. But still,
Enemy
having
remaining.
some life into this retake. MTA and he getting the initial entries, allowing Shy to creep up. 10-5 for Leviathan. They did a lot of cool things in the middle of the map in that last round. This time, looks like they're gonna go for A main control. Something they haven't really done so far in this half. Keep in mind, only 3 rounds in.
Revealing area.
But it is a cascade invested, a lineup dart as well. All this space is cleared and gathered for free.
Yeah, but look at the middle of the map and what's being taken and gathered for free from the defense.
Where is
Oh, that was unfortunately a little ill-advised.
Yeah.
But there was a gap there that they tried exploiting.
This is the difference, though, when you're not running the harbor that can block off some of the angles. You know, you kind of have to face check everything. And you just saw right there, Kesnet, I mean, he wasn't ready at all. MTA, he almost gets picked off as well by Tex. But now Tex, instead of going for that late lurk through mid, he decides to reconvene with his team. And it's going to be a 5-man B execute with Osbos on the top ropes.
Shy again, having to deliver for his team, able to clean up one, not able to find anything else.
Scanning ahead.
Thwarted by the overwhelming presence from the attack.
Spike planted.
MTA spam through, and at this point, this round feels very difficult to win back. You're going to have the post plant down, you're going to have a ton of spam utility that you can get through. You've got harbor walls, you've got omen smokes. This is tough, man.
Yeah, this is so impossible to retake, it feels like.
And then Calm is on the flank, too.
He's so deep on the flank.
There's no
Perfect
way they
timing
know.
on it.
There's no way they know. I mean, MTA, 1, 2, 3, every single one spotted. That's all right, even if the kills are a little bit messy. As you said earlier, better late than never. Calm gets his 4, Lev get to 11.
Something I gotta point out with why it works was that, you know, Telestrator, that Sideshow did. He shows with the main pack, but then he goes back. Whereas before in the past, it was just an instantaneous flank. It was set up from the start of the rounds. So Leviathan are doing a really good job of masking that, you know, it's showing Sopa with them. As soon as that spike gets planted, now Calm is taking that opportunity to do what he does best, catching those timings in the late flank. And you know what? If KRU are gonna keep somebody to 5 right now, looking very dominant on this map, making Harbor look amazing. Look at what happened when Shy was finessing. Yeah, he took out Osbos, but that little cove that Mazzino was able to use and sneak into, giving him the cover, giving him the ability to not get spammed even when he goes for that spike plant. Once you get that spike planted on the B default, it's so hard to retake into.
I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it isolates the entire site. Blocks off the top right as well. Gives Osbos a little leverage there as well. That is so unique.
A little bit of utility though, giving his position away. Mazzino trying to find some comfort in the cove and commit to the plant. Has to take a step back as the paranoia is through. There are a lot of members of KRU here, and LEV don't have the space anywhere else on the map. This is dangerous. They're gonna have to brawl their way through this. And as the fisticuffs go up, the kills come through. A 3 for 3. Osbos very weak here. The spike so far out of reach. I mean, technically, they can try to TP through and scoop it up, but they've lost this duel. They've lost this fist fight. It's gone the way of KRU. They get to 6.
Yeah, just the duel's backside. But KRU, a different look this time on the B side. Using a lot of utility. Using that KO ultimate to have it so Leviathan can't put up another wall, can't put up a cove. No more cascades on the site. The problem is you only have that ultimate a couple times a half. You got to be able to string some more rounds together to build up to another one.
And I wonder how much of this will continue to be the approach for KRU. As soon as you see the controller utility go up, just go. throw your body at it and force Lev to try to navigate through that. We saw it was a problem in the previous round.
With no KO ult to dissuade any type of utility being used, it might be very hard to make that work. This is something we saw in the pistol round, a walk behind the harbor wall, but this time a split. 2 lower mid and 2 into the vents. Complete map control is being gained right now from Leviathan. They're gonna crunch these players.
If they're not careful, the crunch may be the other way. A 1-for-1. Aspas settles the shots, controls the spray, and gets the kill. Now the map is wide open for them.
Yeah, and now surely you know, after getting 2 kills towards A, there's only 1 more there. If you go towards B, it might be tough for you. Do spot that Cypher's not playing in sight. That might give confidence for Tex to creep slowly up.
That's big.
Yeah, that's a big kill from Kresnet onto Aspas there. But like I said, all that was happening, Tex was able to sneak into B site. So this is a free site for the side of Leviathan. And keep in mind, this was a thrifty buy.
Yeah, the only rifle they had was in Aspas's hand.
What is Malzer doing? What is Shy doing? Oh, Texi can't connect.
30 seconds left.
It's disastrous for Leviathan.
They cut their losses and try to rotate away. This map is really big. Are they going to be able to get back in time?
No, there's no shot. The spike should be able to go down. But with the gun disadvantage, I'm not sure if KRU can actually...
left.
This is going to be close.
LEV can actually win this round, sorry.
1 second. They managed to get the spike down. Com's taking a really aggressive angle. And he's got a rifle in hand. Takes some damage though, has to take a step back. All this is buying time. Now they've got the harbor wall they're going to deal with. Kesnet pops his blades. Understanding the need to convert this round, given that they're down 5.
Yeah, and also understanding the need for speed in this moment. If they wait too long, that Hunter's Fury becomes a viable option.
Com has his dart. Goes up, connecting onto 1.
It's coming down to the wire, Doug. This might not be good for the side of KRU. They got to get half, and they got to get it fast.
More harbor utility going up, a kill going back and forth, but Shy gets his 3rd on the round. Melser's gonna get the defuse as KRU get to 7.
And that was cutting it close. 6 seconds on the defuse. If the trading game goes a little bit more in favor for the side of Leviathan. Makes the window of opportunity for Com to invest that Hunter's Fury, but you won't have to. This was a very cool look at the start of the round. I just really wish in this moment Leviathan would have actually committed to that convergence onto A site after getting that trade with Aspas. It's unlikely that there's another player in heaven at that moment. Maybe there's somebody stuck at A. But in these high pressure moments, and in the moments when it comes down to the wire and it's split decision thinking, sometimes it's just hard to make that read.
LEV have shown a lot of diversity and a lot of cool ideas on how they play the middle of the map around this harbor that we've talked about, but KRU are starting to make some of these minor adjustments to counter it. I look at how much presence they have here now.
Yeah, look at the re-clear info. Smoke on the top catwalk, a drone to clear out anything lower. Understanding there's nothing behind this harbor wall this time. But the cool thing about harbor is they can do that again if they want to in 10 seconds. What is that?
He TP'd and King was tucked. I thought he was going to wait for the channel to come through, but wisely for Melser, decides not to commit to it. All just for info. This is all a fake, by the way. The Reckoning is out, the Cascade is up, the drone is through.
And it's a perfect call. Look at the mini-map right now. Oh, Kesnet. He understands. He's second-guessing himself. He's the only one towards this A site. King has crept all the way in, Doug.
This timing is really tricky, and you gotta get hot to trot here. KRU, though, still seemingly convinced that it's another play by LEV where they freeze, where they cut noise, and then they re-hit. Unwise to the fact that they've been had.
And the setup to this round has been so insane because Aspas is holding this mid line the entire time with the operator. Now he decides to go back. MTA will get a pick onto Com with that Hunter's Fury.
How much further up do they scale? As the smoke dissipates, the wall goes up.
I mean, Kesnet's going to be able to dash into a smoke here. Tex might get caught out in the mix.
I think he might be in a tucked corner. I don't think they know where he is. Now repositioning, taking a step back. Tucking behind the cave. MTA gets 4!
Oh my gosh. Doug, it was MTA that brought KRU back to life on that ascent map against 100 Thieves. He gets 4 into this round. All of a sudden, it's 11-8. And the economy for Leviathan is not looking
We
nice.
try the same old tricks.
That's an operator gained as well that can go into the hands of Kesnet.
What a round.
Yeah. Kesnet having a rifle in that round actually worked to his bench. KRU are able to come back and bring it within at least one round.
They're probably going to tie it.
It's looking likely.
Yeah, given the financial advantage that they have,
Yeah.
the op that you mentioned.
And this is a set play. I think Com's going for a Sova ult somewhere, some kind of cheesy lineup with the knives dashing in at the same time. They're going to try to make pandemonium. They're going to try to create chaos onto the actual site. What can Kesnet do?
The drone the first out. Aspas with blades. Whoa. Oh, I thought he was going to hit that. Kesnet has to know as that bullet whizzes by. Not connecting, but look at how aggressive this is. Is he going to try to do it again?
I swear if he does,
No,
this is insane.
he doesn't have the utility to do it. He doesn't have an updraft. He doesn't have a dash. He doesn't have anything like that. So he's got as far as he will go. Now taking a step back. There's the ult that you mentioned from Com. As King tries to keep him back, Shy. Really nicely done, but Mazzino from up top brings down 3. Kesnet with the op. Opts to go for a rifle. He's going to make a run at this. In the face of 3? I mean, maybe he finds 1 and then tries to double down, but no target is being given.
Everyone's so far back, and Mazzino cleans it up with 4 to the round. The jump on the top default box, catching 2 players off guard. The collat, the follow-up kill as well on a Melzer with the ADS. That was too clean. That was a big investment into this round for Leviathan. They needed this. This was a must-win round, and now they put themselves at match point. That Hunter's Fury from Com catching heat in A heaven. That was huge. Kesnet, he just couldn't connect any shots onto Aspas with those knives. He took 2-3 op shots. None of them going his way, but now Aspas is meeting Kesnet head on. A risky peek from Kesnet.
This is unfortunately the KRU that we see when they fall apart. Decisions like that. We're just gonna swing, and I think I'm gonna diff Aspas.
Yeah, again, here we go. Ooh, almost another kill. Oh, punish from the side of Leviathan. Tex, the 1-2 punch with Aspas in this A main, and all of a sudden, full info gathered. This is gonna be so hard for KRU to win.
That's nicely handled. The dart goes out.
Oh,
MTA is still on the side here. His position's given away, though. Somehow gets 3! Keeping it close, keeping it competitive, and now Melzer's in a really good spot. I don't think they know he's there. Aspas down to 70 HP. The paranoia is going to cause so many problems. Melzer trying to will him over the line by himself, but it's coming to 1v1! And Shy keeps KRU alive!
MTA! What is this man? He's so clutch in these moments. He gets 3? He's alone. MTA is having a phenomenal map right now on Abyss. The start was everything for Leviathan.
It was a 3v5!
The Cypher ultimate too, to find out that he's here and he lines you up like this. I mean, the first kill was also through a smoke. No chance for King in that moment. And the Spectre kill on the Aspas. Sometimes it can be so hard to hit somebody that's full running. You're so used to getting swung by a rifle in that moment.
Standing ahead.
Where is that dart going?
Oh, it's a missed lineup.
I don't...
Oh no, it's for backside A,
Yeah.
actually, I think.
Yeah, that's a very nice lineup.
Oh, a nice wall to deny information with the drone. They can creep out here if they decide they want to from the side of Leviathan, but oh, that proactive paranoia from Melzer to check it.
Yeah, it's early, though.
Good bait out. Wall and drone for 1 paranoia. That's going to be good for Leviathan in the mid round.
1000%.
Yeah, they might be able to lean back towards B side here. They will be met by Kesnet here, though, who hasn't been too hot with the op on this defensive side. Keep in mind that last time at A, he did whiff a couple shots on the Aspas, but Aspas did have the knives and was doing some crazy stuff, jumping around with updraft. Some of those shots can be very hard to hit.
Drone just cleared out mid-map, so they turn their attention back towards B. And as you see the Omen smokes go up, you have to understand that's where the hit's coming. He peeks ahead of it aggressively with the dash proc, has to give the space back. An early show from LEV draws out a lot from KRU.
Yeah, and Tex took
30
so much
seconds
space
left.
on Catwalk, but he might get timing by Heat. What? He wins that 1v1!
Falling down. Ridiculous. This has been so careful and so cautious and so effective for LEV. Remember the paranoia, then the Hunter's Fury. With 10 seconds left, they're gonna get out onto A.
10 seconds left.
Can MTA, can Kesnet do something about this? In the cove, recklessly pushing into one. That's all he finds. MTA with 5 HP has to somehow convert a 1v2, and he's got it down to 1.
He knows. He heard Tex.
A tap of the spike, a shock, make that 2. As Tex is jumping, he's baiting him into the swing. Now bullets given away. He understands where he is, and he hits the shot anyway. Heroics from MTA once more. Montita does it again.
Mission is nice.
He's got to be the most clutch player in this server right now.
21 and 16.
That's ridiculous.
He played Tex like a fiddle.
Also, Kesnet, Doug, just running in there with a shorty.
I mean, you had to do something. 5 HP. And that's all it took.
LEV are kicking themselves in the leg right now for what just happened.
Let us hunt.
It's another dart lineup. Keep an eye on Comp's positioning right now.
Revealing.
Remember, that's the one that goes back sight. But it hasn't really found very much. The last couple times I've seen it.
I think this is a lineup that's supposed to be for A main. I think it's just missing because it's not tagging anybody on A side either, Doug. And he did this earlier in the half. Remember, it landed to clear out A main with the one-way, with the cascade. It's going to be an A-pop, though, for sure. Two players are very up close and personal. This might be a punish.
Oh, they've got to understand with here. They've seen the molly, they've seen the paranoia, now they've seen Heat and cleaned him up. Everyone here, Aspa stashing forward, trying to find some cover in the cloudburst, getting aggressively in the face of Meltzer. Wraps around him.
What is that from King?
That's another one the way of LEV. Shy and MTA, yes, they've been good. Yes, they've been top fragging for KRU. But surely they can't deny this, right? Surely they can't convert a 2v5 when the spike is down.
Right here. Deploying drone.
The drone comes out, it's cleared instantly.
I never saw Osbos as well underneath. Osbos gets a 3rd kill to the round.
Shy's left by himself with every single member of Leviathan still surviving, still conniving, and taking us to map 5. 13-10 the way of LEV. Feels at its strongest when they get into post-plant position.
Yeah.
If they can get there consistently, then they have something to play around here. But if KRU are able to keep that back, they're going to struggle.
Yeah, that wall can isolate so many floods from the side of KRU, and we've already seen that KRU like to play a flood style on a lot of the maps that they approach on. Fast drone in mid, but this is going to be met by Heat. Those footsteps. Oh, the flash is perfect. Tex, he gets taken out on accident. He didn't even mean to be the forefront right there.
Clean little right click. The net coming through. They're going to continue to try to push their way through the middle of the map, and it might be a problem because they have so much still here. I mean, Heat, who started the round, has not moved, has not left.
That being said, this will be a free A site because of that reason. No rotates here. Garden will be walled off. So retaking from that area is something that Leviathan do not need to worry about. But it's the flank around from Cat that might be very deadly. And I'm wondering right now if that stun actually hits all of heaven if you make noise. That would be so crazy for a post plant.
I would think so. Left to sit back on the other side of this wall.
This dart.
I mean, they're funneling them exactly where they want them.
There's a flank in A main as well. If
it just got
Heat
cleared.
finds the right timing with this dart, he might be able to pick Osbos off. Ooh, Osbos drops at the right timing.
There's the sun that you were just referring to. It does go off, so it buys a little bit of time. They now understand where the hit is coming from, or at least a better idea of it. And now the knife confirming that everything around them has been surrounded. They've been put in the cage. Leviathan trying to keep them back. It seems like the cage might be their comfort unless Kesnet can pull off a 1v2, and he cannot. Again, the post plants are where success is found on this comp. LEV have already done it once.
Yeah, there was so much delay with just that stun alone into heaven, let alone the follow-up dart. And Aspas, I mean, there's a real world in which he gets picked off there by Heat, but he somehow just has the intuition to know to drop. All right, I got to give this spot from now on. Let me just drop, play my life, wait for these players to jump out of heaven. And it's the classics reigning supreme on the actual sight hit. That was great.
One enemy remaining.
Look at the right clicks from King. It's so insane. Sometimes this gun just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that was so far away, but all 3 bullets connected onto Kesnet right there.
An early net, A main to make sure that nobody's pushing. They should allow them to farm the orb, yeah. No, through that very successful pistol, Mazzino's now 2 away from having his ult.
That's exactly what I was just about to point out. Yeah, he's getting that for the bonus, guaranteed. I mean, even if he gets a kill and dies, he'll have it. Even if he just drops early like this, he'll probably get it in the next round on a default of some sort. It's going to be a contact in the mid. Shy gets picked off for free.
Yeah, trying to run across and get involved in the play.
That's the second time he's kind of gotten caught out in the open there.
What is that wall? Kesnet getting 2 massive kills, but look at where the rest of the team is. They're sectioned off of this wall that was thrown from the middle of the map. They knew where the rotations were coming through from, and with 50 seconds left, they can choose to fight mid or flip the map. But every single kill is going their way. Melzer's left alone in a 1v3. I mean, they can hard freeze. They don't really need to take this if they don't want to. Melzer does a lot of damage. 2 dinks there, but the round goes the way of Lev.
Yeah, a lot of the important guns will be acquired from the side of Leviathan as well. We're keeping that Outlaw into this round. We keep the Vandal. We keep the Bulldog. Kesnet, this second shot was filthy onto Mazzino. But yeah,
gross.
That wall completely blocks off the rotates. So that's what we're going to see a lot on these executes. And it's the timing that has to be near perfect from the side of Leviathan. Otherwise, I mean, let's say that's an even number situation. KRU broke that wall by the time anyone was making any moves into the actual B main space from the side of Leviathan. So they're going to have to clean that one up if they want to convert more of these rounds on the attacking side.
A dart coming in from spawn, really, back A. And they had an aggressive sound sensor, but it gets cleared out.
Yeah, this util exchange for the A main. No one is actually in it. Just now, Leviathan decided to take that space. This is a complete fight for extremity control from both sides.
And I think one of the things that Lev are doing here that we didn't really see 100 Thieves capitalize into a lot was denying some of this utility, right? That the defense is setting up. They've cleared the turret that's B. In the previous hunt, we saw them push towards mid and clear the alarm bot. Those are things that forces the defense to have to respect different areas of the map. Otherwise, your hit is telegraphed. And so Lev are playing this a little bit better.
Definitely a hard read watching previous VODs, but Heat has a timing of the year right now. I don't know what his Vandal's doing. This guy's he's got some kind of new weapon in the game, but regardless.
Heat's on the timing, he's on the swing, you're right. Oh, that's your teammate, brother. A little jump scare, all good. The dart back sight, but nothing's been cleared for heaven. It wasn't being watched. Can Aspas and Tex win this bonus? They've got a wall that's concerned on one area of the map towards tree. You've got the sound sensor too. They've gotten into post plants, but this is a tough post plant. When you're down in numbers like this, it's not that simple, but Tex just picks them apart one by one. Fall, 5, fall. The eye by power ace and the bonus for Lev.
Tex had no business doing what he just did. He had a Guardian. That was his first 5 kills of the map.
Follow at iBuyPower on socials. They'll be giving away a free PC every single time an iBuyPower ace comes through. Shout out to Tex. Make sure you use hashtag #UnlockYourAce for a chance to win. What a round from Tex.
And it's so crazy, Doug, because I was just about to say, the retake took so long to come through. You shouldn't be giving a player like Aspas that time of day to actually think about this clutch, this 2v4, but it was Tex the one that was the maker in that. What a ridiculous play. I can't even talk.
And that's
oh my gosh.
Again, this is the attack side. This is the... Gosh, if they continue to get into these post plants, they're going to run away with this half.
A 2v4 like that, that's devastating to the mental of KRU. I mean, we've seen what happens to KRU when strong starts happen against them, and it's not pretty.
And they almost exercised those demons on the previous map, but weren't able to get it past the finish line. He almost hit that shot. But it seems like they're going to have to be faced with that challenge once more. On the deciding map, no less. The trying to get really aggressive here onto Kesnet. He's the only one playing close by. Shy's going to be forced to spam or at least tank the smoke and try to face it and capture timing, and timing has been found.
Spike down mid.
Shy finds his 2. The spike is now sitting in no man's land. A gun has been upgraded. This gets messy.
Tex is still alive,
30
Doug.
seconds left.
Tex and King in a 2v4.
Oh, the first is good for King.
It was messy, but he got it through. And Tex continuing to push towards spawn. He might catch a timing on NTA, but now he's been spotted. The timing has been found. He's bought enough time to punish Tex, and that's exactly what he does. King cannot convert. It's a thrifty round win for KRU.
Kesnet, he's been so good on these thrifty rounds. He got 2 in the previous one. This time he gets 1, and that 1 is enough to give himself, his team, an advantage into this. When the gun game is not in your favor, getting any type of pick like that opens up that opportunity for Shy to go through. Leaving it all up to Tex and King in that 2v4. It's too much to ask for. It will be Kesnet getting that operator online and early. We're 4 rounds in.
I will find you.
It's a big investment.
And it's a really good investment going up against a composition that doesn't really have many flashes other than that Paranoia. And Paranoia, most of the time, isn't really used to dissuade an operator. There's the first pick on a Tex. You have to try swing, though.
I mean, they've put the wall up, and now the smoke comes down market, blocking the angle that Kesnet was able to punish on. Almost hits that. And there's the ult that's been used for the first time. Mazzino's able to get the best of NTA as they've gotten back out onto the site. The grab net to keep them back. The wall that they're still trying to get past market, just now TPing through, and now they've got sensors. Haven't committed to getting the spike down, though. So the round is still up in the air. It's still messy. It's still complicated. Com's able to get 1, now 13 HP, switching over to the Phantom.
I have the spike.
Forced to reach back and extend beyond comfort to grab the spike. Has a dart, but can even find enough comfort to invest it. In an awkward position where there's so much paranoia and there's so much fear of what's happening around you, he's gonna have to double swing into both, and he can't. Heat cleans him up. KRU gets a 2.
Yeah, that was such a tough 1v2 for Com to play in that moment.
Yeah.
The members of KRU were just too dialed in and ready. They knew where exactly where he was. And Kesnet with that opener, you're gonna see that a lot against a composition like this. It's so tough to push an operator back with the deadlock. It's just not enough utility to be used.
I saw King's smoke hit. It was just late, or it felt like Tex was jumping ahead of it. He jump spotted ahead of it. So I don't know if that, I mean, those little micro decisions that are half a second late or half a second early, we'll see if those continue to plague them.
And that's what I was talking about. When you run this comp, you got to be near perfect. If you're not, you're gonna get punished like that. One set of utility not in the right spot at the right time while you're peeking.
I found my one.
You give an opportunity to die.
They've inserted King back in wine, and they've got a sound sensor covering him too.
Yeah, it's been something that I wanted to talk about with how Leviathan are running this deadlock. They're doing a lot of aggro sensors because you don't really need to use them as trips. They're not really good at trips either. So you're gonna see him holding on to them, using them to gain space on defaults, and then also using them in the post plants. It's basically just extra security for his teammates to play off of. Tex will get a spam on NTA.
And it was the counters. They were trying to punish Com for trying to clear the turret. He's paying a life for a turret. Feels tough.
Every time Leviathan get a first blood, they know to just freeze the round and hold for another push somewhere. In this case, it was Heat pushing off a catwalk, which is something that he does quite a bit.
They're going to end back B. Remember, King only has a Spectre.
Oh!
That dart not finding its mark.
Won't matter, though. They do have this site for free, after all.
That's not something they knew.
Oh!
A nice shot onto Kesnet. Again, they've been investing this wall to deny the flood out from market. And honestly, when you think about how KRU like to play the defensive side, it makes sense. They love to flood out and try to lean into the chaos. Kesnet popping the blades. He's still very healthy here. Com's upgraded to an Odin. It's still just King with the lighter weaponry. He's hearing every single person come through. They're going to invest this lockdown. There's a lot on the shoulders here of Com and of Tex. If he can find the right timing here, this is going to be big. There it is. There's a timing. He gets 3 on the round. Swung onto the 4th, leaving things in a 1v1. Melser against Com. Com is so weak. 42 HP, a shock in his lap, tries to swing. Melser pushing the matter and getting the kill for KRU.
That was such a hard retake to do. especially amongst the Hunter's Fury from Calm and backside, breaking that Killjoy ultimate. Tex ran through B main. The fact that he even got traded in the first place was kind of a miracle. No one was looking at him at first. He was able to get 2 free kills into that.
Yeah.
Melzer. He was too sharp on that, and he played that 1v1 perfectly. Calm could not see him on any of the jump spots either. Oh, that trade came just in time.
It's fading away into the smoke.
Melzer, he had a really rough map the last time on that Abyss. It's good to see him awake here, winning that clutch.
Get out of my
It's
way.
3-3 right now on this ascent.
They've bought up around the blades a little bit here too. Meanwhile, Kesnet still has the op. And there's nothing to deny that line tiles here. You've got to be careful.
This will be met by an operator here. The spike is towards tiles right now, so all this A default was all just a ruse. Maybe trying to sell a fake here. That drone pushing off Kesnet off a cat should be a good idea for the attacking side to understand what the setup is. It's a heavy lean towards B main for Kesnet, trying to show a new look.
It's a deep trip or attempting to clear out, and they do succeed. But it's just refreshed.
Doesn't matter now though, because Kesnet has that B main line. It allows for this lean over heavy A setup. A very early KO ult. Leviathan are just having to be frozen right here. So much utility being invested by KRU.
Convinced that this is where the hit is. And I mean, everything that they've seen, every single tell has been shown, suggests that that's the case.
Yeah, but now you have nothing. All you have these KO flashes from Heat. He's not even going to be in a spot where he can use them though.
It's the LEV way to freeze, to slow things down. Aspas finding a scout, finding 2, finding all 3 with the blades.
10 seconds left.
A disgusting
Spike
execute
planted.
after freezing, cutting noise, baiting out that Omen paranoia.
Here.
We saw Mazzino using his nade in the back of Jen. Heat has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
That was a sick execute, a sick freeze, a great reaction from Leviathan. And although the economy is fine for the side of KRU, that's a tough one to swallow. I mean, they had the read, then they didn't. Second guessed themselves. Kesnet might not even have the chance to bring this up into the next round after clearing out back B.
Oh, I think he's pretty well concealed.
Yeah, Tex will be the only one that he gets contact with. Let's see
Well,
if Tex can actually get the kill.
well.
Oh, he can.
That's all right. We, Aspas gave the fist bumps. And all is good. The op was carried over into the next round. So we'll see how the rest of this plays out. Some close maps, but their last bout was the most humiliating, to be honest. I mean, LEV had their way with KRU.
Right here.
But that's far, far gone. KRU have pushed LEV. They've put him in a fight. And they've gotten it down to the 1 yard line. But can they get it over the edge? This defensive side of Ascent, you would think, is your advantage, but they're causing so many problems with this deadlock pick man.
The grav nets have been on point right now.
Mazzino's been so good. NTA's getting caught, spammed through the smoke, nowhere to go.
It's round over right here. It should be at least, but Melzer has something to say about it.
A spam connecting, Kesner not able to land onto the shot, but that's another kill found. Try to connect onto it, but it's Kesnet. Somehow through all of that, that's left alone. In a 1v2. A little bit of health, no armor to speak of. Forced to sit back and watch and take a look at what LEV are doing. I thought they were going to continue to hunt. I thought they were going to continue to chase him down. But they opt against it, tap the door, and continue to get the spike down. A weapon exchange, don't forget, now has a Vandal to work with. I mean, Tex has his ult. Does he invest it here?
I know.
Yeah, he does, and there's a dart to follow up as well, if need be. There's the dart.
Yeah, position fully given away.
And now the double up from the side of Leviathan. Can Kesnet hit both of these shots on the wide swing? Will they line up for him?
There's the swing onto both, you're right. I thought for a moment, but it just doesn't work out. He was looking the wrong way. No real idea of where they were.
I need this.
And the value from these grab nets. Now you're starting to feel why this pick has been chosen from the side of Leviathan.
Yeah.
The patience that Leviathan have showed on this attacking half as well. Even when they have the site for free, just to hold, try to get the trades. It's been working well in their favor. Now KRU are on the back foot. Leviathan leading by 2 rounds and an operator now in the hands of Aspas.
A hero rifle for Kesnet. And that's a lot of presence mid. The idea is there. They wanted to try to fight mid, scrap something, try to get an advantage.
Yeah. And Aspas has Shy stuck in this corner. If he doesn't move or get any type of supporting utility, this walk up on Cat is going to kill him for sure. Look at this. 3 members. There's a jet smoke for Shy to get out.
And he manages to do so.
Barely.
Not without taking damage, you're right. And then finally, the second blow is the decisive one. Oh, he knife out, trying to take some space.
They're getting dismantled right now.
He's starting to see these little mistakes come through.
Cracks in the shield.
And this is on the defensive side.
And then here's what we're talking about, this freeze into Garden on Catwalk. Just waiting for more re-aggression. They know that KRU like to group up in these moments when they're down numbers. Or even sometimes not. Sometimes just walk into space, walk into smokes.
30 seconds
There's
left.
no way he finds this timing.
What are you up to?
This would be absolutely ridiculous. Ah, King is too aware of it.
It looked like for a moment he was going to find the narrowest of margins to punish within. But KRU once again locked out of the site, once again locked out of the round.
Power of deadlock in full effect.
Here's that sensor, decides he has to take a different route.
Okay.
Meanwhile, that is a weapon upgraded for MTA, still has light armor. Tech's trying to punish, but it's Mazzino who cleans him up. Lev gets a 6.
Yeah, and Mazzino gets 2 off of his orb as well. Have that deadlock ult available and online, maybe even in this round if they decide to grab both orbs. This attack operator makes it very hard to play against. You want to be able to hold a lot of these contact spots, but now that you know that you could be getting swung by an operator, I mean, so much more pressure on actually hitting that shot in the moment. If you don't, you're going to get instant by this guy.
Yeah, you will get punished. You're right. 2 ops on the field, both in the hands of the Jet. A very passive line held by Kesnet here.
Revealing area.
On the side of Leviathan, they should be aware there's an operator on the opposite side as well. So they should do their due diligence of, you know, clearing that operator out, getting certain lines. That's why you're going to see a drone into B main. This is very common from teams to leave an operator posted on B main in the mid round and a lean towards A.
Especially when that alarm bot is still up mid. A deeper smoke, and he's got to hear that's coming. Faces it, clears the drone,
Yeah.
and then resets.
But now this is full info gathered for Aspas to take aim duels against riflers at A site. This is an Opera's dream on the attacking side.
With 50 seconds left, they could freeze, or they could accelerate A. They're all posted up on the other side of it. There's got to be something to get heat off this line, because this could be disaster. I guess that's what gets him off the line.
Exactly.
Aspas just crouch walking into it and dropping him. And that works, I guess. A smoke, a wall, and a cam up towards tree, too.
30
The
seconds.
dart back sight, the paranoia goes down.
Sound sensor up.
This should be a spike plant unless Melser is able to snatch this thing back up from heaven. Yeah, there's no access that way.
It's so hard to play against.
Shock's a little bit off the mark. And what do they have here? How do they get around this? They still have the op in the hands of Aspas, and that's what's able to hold down heaven by itself.
Yeah, the problem is you have no KO flashes. He got taken out early right there. So this heaven peak is all dry. Aspas has easy pick'ems here.
Even on the other side of the smoke, they tried smoking him off, but they knew that the swing was coming in because of the sensor, and he tanks it. Fully faces it, and now the ult used.
Last player.
Not connecting. Kesnet with an Odin in a 1v3. That's 2 now. Time is of the essence. You've got to go fast. You've got to go now. Dropping down into the site, dropping down into his death.
What a great job from Leviathan to identify where the opposing operator is. That allows Aspas to have the confidence to peek anybody, anywhere on A site. He's able to lead in. 9 times out of 10, when you're peeking into somebody that's holding with a rifle, the operator wins, especially in the hands of an operator like Aspas. So for him to be able to identify that in the moment and be the forefront and peak Heat, that's why you saw that pick come through. It's so fast on Heat's screen, he had no chance at all.
Well, we're reaching into the bottom of the barrel here, aren't we?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and if it works, and it did, then sure.
Mazzino's going for a fast trade here, and he gets it.
I mean, Mazzino's been so good, both in his utility. We've gushed about the deadlock stuff so much.
Oh, the stuns have been so sick.
But he's also quietly, I mean, well, he's got a face full of lead now.
Shadows traveling.
There's just something tilting about getting one pumped by any gun in this game.
And now downgrades to the Phantom.
Yeah.
With the spike still enhanced by Com. The attack side op moving around a little bit more. The alarm bot hasn't been cleared yet, but they have done enough to introduce a little bit of doubt into the map. Take a look at MTA's positioning, having to rotate back mid.
It's so scary. Drone is used though. So info on all 3 members of Leviathan is gathered. Melzer faking a teleport, and he's actually staying here in Garden.
Cover going out.
Goes for the one-way.
30 seconds left.
Smoke to cover.
There's a double back into mid though. This turret will get first contact, and MTA needs to be very careful in this spot.
This hourglass is getting lower and lower. 15 seconds left. They haven't gotten a ton of space yet. The turret goes back up. They have to end B here, and they've got Melzer right behind them. Hey, this is a false sense of security, but Aspas is holding the line. He's got to understand there's a little bit of a threat now. One way to cover one side is they can focus elsewhere. Shot strikes at just the right time, leaving Aspas on his own in a clutch, dashing back, trying to buy a little bit of time, trying to buy a little bit of space. And it's Melzer with 3 as KRU get their 4th.
Oh my goodness. I thought Aspas just hit the craziest flow state after popping that dash. But Melzer keeping it calm, cool, and collective. Securing the 1v1 win. Putting KRU on 4 rounds. They need everything they can get. They need to scrape out any rounds they can. Melzer did so much work at the start of that round and closed it out perfectly. From Bucky to Phantom.
Here.
Last round of the half. Kesnet has blades.
Same thing at the opposite side. Aspas has them online and available as well, amongst many other alts that'll be online. Leviathan need to secure the Sova ultimate so they can match the Killjoy ult from Shy. Hunter's Fury for lockdown is required.
But can they get to the point where they have equivalent exchange?
What kind of grab net is this? Is this for close left? That would be ridiculous. It
What?
doesn't even matter.
Aspas gets high ground and drops Kesnet.
Kesnet couldn't move.
That was just so well done.
Oh my gosh, Melzer gets spammed.
Through the smoke, picked apart, one by one. And now forced to solve a 2v5 equation. And those numbers do not add up.
I know exactly.
Yeah, you just have to flood out of heaven here because of that Hunter's Fury.
One enemy remaining.
The arithmetic's not getting any better. It's a flawless round for LEV. Aspas gets his 3 as LEV gets to 8. That was on the attack side of
Switching
Ascent.
sides.
We've seen the power of the deadlock on this map. Leviathan have done such a good job showcasing it. The grab nets have gotten so many kills for the side of Leviathan. He's got 9 assists.
Comp on defense. This is where it's strong.
Yeah, it can be so hard to break through some of these setups. Even against KO Ultimate, you're able to swap, have players sit and spawn. It's going to be so tough to deal with, especially in the form that Aspas is in at the current moment. But this is it, Doug.
But again, KRU were able to pull off a ridiculous comeback here yesterday. I mean, they were able to put 100 Thieves away.
It was on the defensive side mainly, though. This one
Yeah.
gets a lot of info for Leviathan. It'll dissuade the mass group of KRU. That's why you see a lot of players sitting in bottom mid, but he's kind of stuck here on an island. What's the game plan here?
I
Is he
imagine
a late lurk? Is the KO the one you want to be in this spot?
I can't imagine that was part of the plan, but maybe they try to end that way. Oh, now we're going to get 20 seconds of watching Crew try to clear this wall out.
Infinite stall. You got a one way to follow up as well. But that wall needs to be broken.
Yeah.
Much like playing against a Sage, it could be very deadly leaving it there. Unless you play around the actual timing of it.
But it's just so much passive info that's gathered. So they clear the wall, and now, because of that, LEV are forced to keep a couple of members closer here. Meanwhile, the rest of the hit is headed towards B. They've rejoined the fray with heat. And Tex has to understand there's a little bit of presence here. Is there enough? Is there any more utility out from Mazino? He has a grab net. Still in hand. Is he convinced that that's where it's coming from? There's a net, but it's too little too late. That shock is going to hurt. They got him all there. Only one found, though. King just recklessly jumping through the smoke, somehow claiming a life with it.
Last player standing.
Leaving Aspas in a 1v3. The dash is procced. The Sheriff in hand. Swings out, spots one. Able to clean him up. I don't know. Don't look at me that way. I have no idea. Still two more to be found. Not able to connect onto the second. MTA cleans him up. And that's a round for Crew.
You saw the protocols in full effect right there for Leviathan, but the pace that Crew put on that actual hit was too fast. The utility couldn't make it out on time.
Yeah.
And that pop flash from Heat into that Omen smoke on stairs, Tex was blind for like a minute. The poor guy could see nothing by the time he gets back in. Heat's already in his face. Calm gets caught out with a shock dart, but you see the setup. It was supposed to be Tex sitting at stairs. Grabnet comes out on stairs as well, and shock darts are supposed to rain through Supreme for Calm. But the pacing and the timing of Crew is too explosive. Something they're gonna have to keep doing in the future half.
Knife tagging onto Calm, a smoke deep towards the middle of the map. Crew should be able to exploit a lot of this.
Yeah, this is all conditioning. 2 rounds in a row, taking heavy mid control, clearing out all this space, trying to clear out all that utility. Last time around, they used more util to clear out Catwalk. Did a guard and smoke as well. Will be a drone into B main though to get some info. See if anyone's pushed up here. Cam gets spotted. Aspas might be able to slip right back in. Oh, not anymore after being seen right there. But not breaking that dart makes it kind of obvious you're leaning towards A now. There is a wall here, but it will get broken.
Yeah, the wall just went up, and you're right. It doesn't last nearly as long with all the weaponry on the other side of Crew. Mazino, oh, not again. Oh,
Almost.
really nice snap, though.
Still 2 players here.
Yeah, but I thought if there was going to be a play around it, it would be through the delay of time and then a sneaky timing through the wall, or through the smoke, excuse me. But
30 seconds left.
once Crew were able to get past all of those traps, it should be smooth sailing at this point. Couple of Sheriffs up on the defensive side. No real utility to speak of.
Very confident positioning from Melzer as well. He decides to get out of there. Rightfully so. You want to keep all these weapons that you have. This is a big investment from Crew.
Yeah, and they knew the smoke was going down, so didn't want to get caught in a situation like that. Look at that.
Firing squad.
That quadruple face.
Yeah. And this is a good moment for Leviathan to just submit to the death of the spike. Don't give MTA any more ultimate orbs or Shy. Give yourselves more of a buffer. Don't get snowballed going into this bonus round. But the buy from Leviathan, or from Crew, I mean, that's a massive investment, and they might be able to make something out of this in the following gun round of Leviathan.
Yeah, we saw this. Well, it was on the previous map, wasn't it? They fully invested into this, and they were able to convert it, carry 4 of their rifles. Yeah, I believe it was just all 4 of them, and that made their bonus round so strong.
Yeah, look at it. It's basically, it is a gun round.
It's a gun round,
It is
yeah.
a gun round, and they could still buy the next. Very healthy, in fact. Look at all the light armor from Leviathan. Keep in mind, for the Guardians on the battlefield, that's only 2 shots to the body. You take out anybody with light armor.
2 rounds separating these 2 squads in this final map. A series, admittedly, that many people thought wouldn't go the distance, but here we are. Crew pushing the pace mid. We've seen them do this a lot. That one-way cam cleared, but a little bit of info gathered.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's so early in the round, Dre.
Yeah, it's the conditioning. Last 3 rounds they've played, it's been fast up mid. This time they're freezing, waiting for a reaction. This is the answer back, a drone and B main, but Shy is going to relay this to his team. Oh, the one-way onto Cat with the deadlock trap right there. That's so deadly if any sound is made. That basically denies any type of a Cat push.
I mean, look at that. There's no easy way into A. You've got the wall main, and then you have the two sensors. If they somehow get past the main wall, you're going to have to deal with that too.
Yeah, and then a paranoia from supporting cast that are flooding in. It's a lot of utility that needs to be baited out.
Yeah. And then you look at the other side of the map. You have two cages, and you have two trips as well. I think so much of this relies on Heat to be able to find value with this
30
knife.
seconds left.
If he's able to find the right targets, then they can play around it.
I don't know if he connected onto the deadlock or not. It looks like he did because that trip did not go off yet.
Destroyed.
But it will in the mid round.
No surprise.
There's the stun. Melzer, forget the stun. He takes out Mazzino.
Wide swinging and
Spike down
moonwalking his
A.
way into landing that shot. Numbers still the way of the defense with 10 seconds left. They've
seconds
got to get
left.
the spike down. A little bit of time was bought. A brief moment of peace.
Hearts destroyed.
And off of that, they commit. Now trying to fight and deal with everything that's up in heaven, and they do so. Crew get up to 7 at the hands of Kesnet and Shy.
Beautiful swinging together in that moment. A bonus round 1. The pressure is on Leviathan in this moment. Crew, when they get momentum, they string up so many rounds.
That's what.
Beautiful swing together at the end here to make sure Aspas doesn't connect onto anybody. And that KO knife, that's what you talked about. It needed to connect onto the deadlock. It hit Mazzino.
Different defensive look here. Look at where the sound sensor is. This is on a lighter buy, though. It's just a Guardian in the hands of Aspas.
Yeah, but this mid default that has happened every single round, it's gonna get punished this time around if Dash is not popped.
Sensor goes off, Paranoia goes through, Aspas gets the kills, and there it is, just like that.
Oh.
But it's only one found. They've managed to avoid it, yes, bruised, but still standing.
MTA needs to be very careful here, or he might not be standing quite more. Aspas and Tex are all swinging together. Mazzino with the follow-up.
This is disaster. This is disaster.
Spike down mid.
They walk into the trap, and they're picked apart.
Big overcommitment into mid from the rest of the squad of Crew, and now it's a 3v1 for Shy, and he gets taken out for free.
I mean, Mazzino was standing on the other side of his wall and Cat for a second. And so that was a round that, I mean, needed to go the way of Crew, expected to go the way of Crew. But again, the persistence across the middle of the map led to massacre.
It works against them this time. Good job on Leviathan to read that. Every single round, it's been a mid default off the rip with no pushback whatsoever. This time denying that, and now you're gonna have to see Crew change their game plan.
Placing swamp grenade.
You might have to take mid delayed now. Maybe be more hesitant.
Yeah, I look at all of this utility B.
This is ridiculous. There's 4 trips there. Oh, but the KO ultimate
Placing swamp
It's
gets
only
out most of it.
It's only gonna get one though. And honestly, given how far away he is, I'm surprised it even hit that.
It's somehow connected onto Mazzino.
There may have been a
chips
knife.
didn't go out.
Yeah, it may have been a knife for something. Either way, they're still gonna have to deal with the sound sensors. Aspas is able to punish onto one, but they're still trying to make their way out onto the site. That is a bold TP from King, but takes a step back.
Hold them to their grave.
Is that gonna connect?
It does.
Will. Forced to sit and watch in a blue screen. They're gonna try to save him, but I don't think they can. Shy will fall.
Here.
And now the 3 remaining members of Crew are huddled out onto the site, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, with the exception of Melzer, who's a little bit further off, a little bit closer to the wall, holding his 50 line. What's the cue for Lev to go?
Shadows.
What are they waiting for?
Paranoia right there.
But it doesn't hit Melzer. You gotta be careful. He's already found one. Can they flood around it? Melzer gets 3 on the round. He's got to get them all by himself, but he can't. Woo.
A nice controlled retake for Leviathan. It looked scrappy, it looked chaotic because Melzer was, you know, a thorn in the side of them, but they brought it back and brought it together. The trading was in their favor. What a great deadlock ult to catch out Shy. He gets caught out by that camera. And now it's a weird buy. It's a weird situation for Crew.
don't know how he gets that many there, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Good shit, Gina.
Calm hitting his best Odin cosplay
Yeah, just Odin things.
and looking good. Dude.
Tide was one.
And look at where he's posted up currently. Across the middle of the map. You've talked so much about the default the crew have been running mid. They go up, they try to clear out utility, they try to make some noise, and then they play the rest of the map. This time, though, an adjustment from the attack.
Yeah, smoke bottom mid off the rip. Makes it kind of obvious that you're going up cat. That's why you see the instant reposition from Aspas. He's gonna meet them head on here with the one-way. Oh, he gets a tag on the Heat.
Not able to find the blow, though.
It's a double trip setup, though, even if you
Yeah.
make it through here.
That's the devastating part of this setup, is if you creep up and try to clear out the trip, the sensor goes off. And so you're stunned. It's confirmed presence.
Cash. And on the opposite side of the map, there's a trip in market because there's been a lot of mid to Bs from crew, a lot of market takes. And look at how far back Tex is playing. He's jump spotting B main right now. Omen Flash does connect.
Again, it's another leg, though.
Here.
A little bit more close. Now the trip's cleared. Mazzino is in a really good spot. He's playing on the other side of smoke. Aspas has to take a step back, but he's overwhelmed. He's outgunned.
Target down.
What can Mazzino do to counter? They're going to push into spawn, potentially. They have so much space. Mazzino and King are surrounded.
30 seconds
Tex is
left.
so far away from the play. And that's not one down. Make that both.
Placing alarm bomb.
Crew have clawed their way back into this. How much of a hero can Tex be? He's not even interested.
Save the operator. That was a
Yup.
must-win round for crew. What an insane conversion, considering the fact that Aspas tagged 2 people down to 1 shot. I mean, the way that crew just did that, just overwhelmed a player like Aspas, that is so difficult to accomplish. They util bombed him, and when they had no util, it was Melzer putting his life on the line with that Omen teleport.
Tex, they're coming for you.
He's too good with his gun. I've seen him so many times saving an operator for Aspas and connecting every single shot. Everyone, keep in mind, this was a chamber player. He knows how to op.
He's carrying the op into the next round, but crew get within 2. This was such a nice setup.
Yeah.
I mean, Melzer even TPing forward to try to get past some of that utility is really nice.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just insane, the heads-up play that he just did. It's a tough one. LEV were in a really good spot at the start of that round, but Aspas getting overwhelmed, and that is not something you see every day. Tex will keep the operator into this round.
Aspas with blades. Look at how far back he is. What's your play here?
Just looking for that Omen TP off the top.
Yeah.
Go
Convince
up. Yeah.
that's where it's headed.
And this is a fast pace up cat from crew. We haven't seen this quite yet. Still 2 trips here. And this was a full investment for Leviathan. If they don't convert this round,
It will hurt. You're right about that.
It's going to be a tie game unless they thrifty again.
The blades are still sitting all the way back in spawn. The grab net tagging a couple, a little bit of damage dealt.
Oh. Oh my gosh, he's stuck right behind this wall. He can updraft past it if need be.
But then he'd get stunned.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
My ult's ready.
almost doesn't get out.
Mazzino is dead.
I mean, you don't expect somebody right there, though.
I think he played that perfectly.
Aspas jump spotted mid. He does see Shy. That's why he's leaning towards A. He saw Shy leaning towards catwalk.
Yeah, still back in spawn. Commons invested the ult on this.
Oh.
They've thrown so much into this round. They've got to find a way to convert. The blades are on the site. King is here. It's only a 1-for-1 though. Aspas with 87 HP, no armor to speak of. He tries to get over the top. The spam from MTA is too good. Whoa. Can the op connect?
That could have.
Almost does. A 2v2 now. MTA weak. 30 HP. Kesnit still healthy. How do you get into this round?
Oh, Tex wants a rifle so bad. He doesn't want to go into this retake with an operator. No body will be found quite yet.
Oh, and especially if crew play this so patiently and so carefully, I mean, they're not going to give him anything. Spam initially not connecting, and now they're starting to funnel away out of heaven. One spotted.
Player standing.
He still gets that. It's all onto Kesnet. A 1v2. The need to deliver from the star. One has been found. Context lane, the shot dashes across. He buys so much time. There's none left. They hunt Tex down. Kesnet with 3 at the Red Bull clutch as KRU get to 9.
KRU are doing something very special right now. The way that they're maneuvering around all these trips, the way that they're finessing around all the utility from Leviathan. It is not an easy thing to do whatsoever. That kill from MTA, that spam onto Aspas was huge. And yeah, that kill not going the way of Tex in that moment. He's gonna have nightmares of that one if Leviathan do not pull this one through.
They're still down 1. There's still a lead, albeit slight, yes, but there is still a lead on the left camp, and they call a timeout here.
That all signs are leading towards KRU to accumulate this next round at least. I mean, if Heat or MTA pop off in this anti-eco, you have a lot of ultimates to work with in future rounds. It's an A main face here. King did invest into a paranoia. This could do a lot of damage.
They've walled them off, but the spam and the nade are too good. I mean, they had an idea of the trap. It was a cool idea. And when you're down like this, you dig into the playbook. I get it.
And that's
But KRU,
yeah.
disciplined.
And that's a kill onto Heat as well. Now, if he's able to grab that orb, this is a really good opportunity for KRU to at least gain advantage in the ult economy.
And we've talked so much about this double senti setup, whatever. But you're right. Heat getting his ult online late in this half is going to cause so many problems.
Yeah, we saw him do a mid to B last time, and it hit everybody. It even hit Mazzino at A site. Drone comes out, tags Tex back site. He will be util bombed. It's all up to the hot hands now. What can they do?
They're all huddled in here on the side.
Oh,
The
that's
smoke
one.
goes down. MTA falls. It's a little bit of a 1-for-1. No real way to upgrade weapons, though. So the defense is forced. It's thrown back onto this Sheriff situation, and Kesnet wins those 9 times out of 10. We're tied.
By himself, by the way. He solo swung that. He's feeling it. It's 10-10. We're all tied up. Ults are completely in favor for the side of KRU. We have a lockdown on the field with nothing to be done about it.
Yeah, a couple of really cool ideas there from Lev. We talked about the trap into wine off the wall. The fact that they tried concealing their position on site and get a couple of kills, it just wasn't enough. So now, what feels like the most pivotal round of this map, of this series, arguably. Tied at 10. A spot in the grand finals up for grabs. Meltzer's caught. Oh. They try to punish. Just barely getting away with life.
My goodness, while all that's happening, all this space was gathered into mid on the cat, pushing the players off of A main as well with that drone.
Placing swarm grenade.
It's gonna be a
Swarm grenade
lockdown.
out. In
Nothing can be done about this. Lev are gonna have to sit double back site here unless they decide to get fully out.
Yeah, there's enough of a gap in heaven here. And in hell.
A lot of utility here, a lot of traps.
I don't feel good about this. The paranoia is out. Aspas able to get a second. Dashing around, staying alive, make that 3. Slaughter. Lev hold the line.
And they needed to win that round. They needed an answer back. The economy now in favor of them. This constant back and forth. They had a hard read onto this round though, Doug. 3 members were positioned there with 2 sets of trips. Aspas, he's just so clutch in these moments. He got 3 into that round.
22 and 14 for the star. And now look at the ult situation. Mazzino has his ult.
Yeah.
A couple of other to play around. Meanwhile, Heat still doesn't have his.
Going back to a mid-esque default is KRU. We haven't seen this in quite some time, but Calm, he's looking to get some spam here.
Yeah, but what's the cue for it to go?
I think just audio. Ooh, he doesn't pull the trigger yet.
Trying to do so from safety now, a little off angle. Not really able to punish back.
Yeah, he's so worried somebody's crept up so close to him.
I mean, reasonably so. There's nothing really covering it. It's just this cam.
Yeah. This cam has been really annoying for KRU to deal with. They've had to break it almost every single round. Knife connecting on the Aspas and B main.
But I think more importantly, not connecting onto tech. So all of that utility is still up. The most important being the cam.
Yeah, and now that paranoia being invested as well.
There it is.
It was all to get this KO ultimate. It is invested. This is what it all comes down to, Doug.
The dart over the top, the flash out.
30 seconds left.
They're so worried.
believe
So
smoked.
worried. They saw Aspas here, but he still gets one.
And that's an important one too. And now everyone else has arrived. Texas joined the fray. The spike is sitting on the ground harmlessly, and now the ult dropped. MTA is going to be lured all the way into his death with 10 seconds left. They've got to commit to getting the spike down. Texas still playing back sight. How much more can he do? It's calm over the top.
Down.
KRU crumble. LEV get to series point.
The fortification on both of these sites. It's now becoming too much of a problem for KRU. They're trying their best to not die to Aspas early in these chokes. And it's making it so they don't have enough utility when the actual site hit comes through.
Remaining.
Aspas is playing these rounds to near perfection, the way he's baiting out this utility based off of his presence alone. Him getting tagged by back-to-back knives.
And so now we enter what very well may be the last round of the series. And for KRU, the last round of their America's run, if it ends here. And the buy is not great. A Stinger, a Guardian, light armor, and an Outlaw for Aspas.
Scanning ahead.
Such a solid understanding of the situation.
Nowhere to run.
And the thing is, there's nothing that they really have to deal with all this utility. The paranoia's out. They're going to try to swing into this, and the grab net straps them into the ground, pulls them into their death, but Heat on the counter. Forced to sit back on the other side of the wall, but the site, barring Aspas, is open. Can he punish with the Outlaw? One found, make that two! And just like that, KRU are left on last hopes, on last life. Can he bring them over the finish line? Can he keep things alive for KRU?
Revealing area.
He's been electric, he's been dynamic, but now he's been found. And as all three members of LEV start to push their way